This episode of Keeping Tabs is brought to you by Doot Loot, your one-stop shop for Japanese and Russian foils. If you spend $100 or more, you'll earn free entry into our online cEDH league this month. So don't miss out and upgrade your deck's bling today.
I have lost my voice, but you have found your way to Keeping Tabs on cEDH with Critical EDH. And we're actually here with a new member today. What's your name? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's up? I'm Jax, and we'll give you a full rundown. I don't know. I've been playing for a while, playing with the crew, and we like to play and have fun. I'm more about the gathering than I am on the action, but it's good to have fun. It's nice beer.
Well, other things is on the highway of magic, we are zipping down at Defcon 3. You heard it here first. We have rigorously tested this information via our grassroots movements with roughly 197 individuals, give or take 198. Other things that we're going to be discussing today, how fantastic is Marvel going to be in cEDH? Also, should step through be in your deck, or should you be looking through a different creature type? And then finally, I was going to think of something else, but that's an inside thought. So you're just going to find that out with me later on in this episode. But first, we've got some tournaments that we got to talk about. Austin, you want to take us to the next screen?
Yep.
Jax, what are we looking at?
Sweet. All right. So first, we have this 20K coming up, Royal Rumble. I think everyone from Colorado is going. I think there's there'll be a bunch of us there for sure. I think we're at least 20 deep right now.
Yeah, I think so.
So this will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to LobbyCon and crush some beers and play some Magic with y'all.
Yeah. Royal Rumble, check it out.
And then next we have the Solstice. This one's gonna be in New Jersey. Should be a lot of fun as well. How do we know what the player cap is for this one?
Looking. How many players? I do see that they've got prizing. I think, did they say they have prizing for the top 64? How many? No. I see. If they have 64 players, that's when it's going to get there.
Sweet.
$1,000
cap prize.
Check it out. If you make it on top 4, you could be part of a controversial Reddit post. Which, I mean, who doesn't want to?
Who doesn't want to go viral on Reddit? Yeah.
You'd be the smartest person at the table. Sorry, this is my first time in front of a camera for a while, and I'm just stream of consciousness right now.
Oh, sweet. So awesome new playmat. This artist is incredible, and if you do pick up the playmat, we'll sponsor your league entry for this month and next month. So you get December and January, which I believe it's silver if you win. Yeah. So it should be a lot of fun. Check out the playmat. Check out the artist. He has a bunch of good stuff.
It was put out by Hummingbird. He basically has put together the vast majority of the Dog Thrash Discord and has really kept it going, and has done a really good job of celebrating that community they've been growing. And then also, if you check out his Etsy page, he has actually sponsored some of the prizing for our league in the past. And he's just a phenomenal artist. We have been so grateful for the way that the community has supported us in a lot of ways. And we are so thankful that we get to support artists. And who wouldn't want to be a part of a fantastic playmat like this? So if you've already bought one, let us know. We want to make sure that we get you in on the league.
Yeah, just DM us or create a ticket on the Critical EDH Discord, and we'll take care of you from there. Also, if you haven't seen his video of him going through his Dog Thrash deck, that is probably the sexiest deck I've ever seen.
That's true.
It's really freaking cool.
It's been really cool in general this month for the artist spotlight.
Oh, yeah. Well, from the production chair, Jordan.
This month for the league is an artist spotlight, and we've had a bunch of people just kind of find their way into our Discord, posting their alters and having sales go through, and just a lot of momentum and excitement, and artists that otherwise I think wouldn't be getting seen as often. So thanks for being there, and thanks for sharing your work with us. It's really exciting.
Yeah, if you are an artist and you're watching this right now and you're like, man, I wish my art could be on here, talk to us, reach out in our DMs. We love getting to connect with artists. If you have an established catalog of work, or you do alters or a playmat for a local game store, let us know. We would love the chance to get to talk to you about what we can do together for the Critical EDH League.
Yeah, we love celebrating the artist. It's so cool, right? It's the next level of beautiful cards. You can have cool foil Japanese cards, or you can have cool foil Japanese cards with cool art on top of them.
Speaking of things going on in Magic, though, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first tab here in just a second.
We got one more tournament. Sorry.
After Tough Mulligans, of course.
Of course.
That was a trick, and you fell for it. If you didn't see this tournament being talked up, shame on you. Shame on you.
Who doesn't like a free cEDH tournament? So free entry and no travel because it's online. all through Spell Table, and I think if all the signups happen, it could be a platinum event.
One of the reasons this came up on our radar is the Matt Hayes, most known for playing Voha in cEDH. Put it on our map. And because he's in a situation that I know I definitely have been in as well, and I imagine many of you, our viewers, may have been in as well. He is trying to make it to the invitational season, but there's only so many tournaments he can fly for. Can you imagine the audacity of not having the money to fly every single weekend to a tournament?
You don't have a PJ?
I wish I did. It's in situations like these that tournaments like Tough Mulligans that are exclusively online can really, really help bolster the scene. And if you've been looking at trying to explore cEDH in a more tournament-style way, this is a great way to kind of soft launch into the tournament scene and start to see if you kind of have ways of testing your mettle in addition to our own league. So thank you, Tough Mulligans, for occupying this space in the cEDH scene and giving opportunities to players like the Matt Hayes to definitely take Voha. I am committing him at this point in time for top 4.
Well, and it's really sweet to be able to have a free tournament to enter that you still have prizing for, right? So it could be a great way to spend the weekend.
Take other people's money.
Yeah, all day long. All right, so our Defcon. So we did a poll of almost 200 players.
Yeah.
Trying to see when they're seeing the first win get put on the stack.
Yeah.
And we had over 68% of them said by turn 3 they're seeing wins on the stack, and that was closely followed by turn 2.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and just to clarify, this isn't like when we're seeing the game close out, because I can already hear, I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, well, I just played a game last week and went to turn 5, turn 6. But if there was a player who tried to like send out like a Necropotent super duper early with mana open for like a Born Upon a Win or a Final Fortune, that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, the first win attempt, who's trying to push first kind of thing.
Yeah, you know, as we're trying to like either feel the pulse or try to like gauge the wind speed of like cEDH, I think it's very important to recognize kind of en masse when people think it is safe to make that first win attempt. Because oftentimes it's not the first win attempt that gets there. Maybe you'll see someone who goes for a win be able to convert it, but oftentimes that's after they fight through a lot of interaction and then via resiliency like Breach or Shifting Woodland or something, they're then able to make a secondary win attempt on the same turn. But I think as far as we've experienced, at least in the Denver meta and a lot of the people that we polled online, it seems to be we're on the kind of front end of being a 3-turn format right
definitely.
now.
You want to be ready to stop wins by turn 2 and stop wins turn 3, or be pushing probably turn 2, turn 3.
And so I know you're a tournament grinder. If I'm ever in a tournament and I see me and you are in the same game, I know I gotta be ready to bring my A game. As a brewer, how do you feel like this being the kind of like climate that we're in affecting deck building decisions that you're making right now?
Interesting. So definitely have seen it speed up quite a bit compared to like 4 or 5 months ago. I actually am kind of going the other way now that I'm seeing everyone go much more turbo. Is like the light stacks has felt really good. Like Dranith in Grafstigger's Cage has actually felt phenomenal. Where I'd say like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, they were fine, but they kind of felt like dead cards. They didn't like do a lot. Where like now I'm feeling Dranith buys me almost. I can almost count for like 1 extra turn to keep going, right? And so like I think seeing people pushing that envelope and trying to go a little bit faster, I'm liking kind of zagging while everyone's zigging and going a little bit more for the light stacks or ways to stop them.
Yeah, that makes sense. If we wanted to like rewind in time to like a month or two ago, it wouldn't be impossible to imagine that you're resolving like a turn 1 Dranith into like a turn 2 Tibna swing for 2. You're netting 2 cards, you have 2 creatures on board. You know, how bad could it be? Well, your opponent landed a Rhystic Study, a Mirror Maid, and a copy enchantment.
For sure.
So when you cast that Tibna, they do 3 cards. So feels pretty bad. But now we're in a situation where you land that like turn 1 Dranith and you just see the Rowan player across the table, head in hands, crying in a discount of 4.
You watch the Itali player set down their hand, right? Draw a pass.
Why do I even bother? Why do I even bother? And so as things start to speed up, there can be that corresponding like kickback. And so even though you're not trying to be the person making a win attempt on the end of turn 2, beginning of turn 3, you are planning on that happening so that you can get that much more use out of the cards that you're putting in your list.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, yeah, very, very much so, right? Just being ready to stop people much earlier, like Ral's crazy. Like we're seeing so many weird turbo decks, and I say weird as in just like not like there's like 5 to 7 different kind of variants of like really fast decks that I don't think we saw a lot of play now.
Yeah.
That seem to all be stopped by similar stacks pieces, which is interesting.
Yeah, I definitely want to consider Ral. For instance, I think it'd be inappropriate with the popularity of Ral to call it like a fringe deck.
For sure.
However, if a Ral is making a 1 attempt, I do not know what card they're doing it with, and I will have to read it with these 2 eyes. And I think that is right. That's kind of fringe. Oh, no, for the producer's chair.
So I think that the 1 to 5 is actually, if you look at it just holistically, 1 is probably as turbo as it gets.
Yeah.
And 5 as slow or stacks as it gets. And so we're leaning towards turbo mid-range right now. And I think that we all kind of agree that's where we're at. And even just a couple weeks ago, we were probably leaning more towards like a high 2.
Yeah.
And the meter's coming down a little bit. I don't know if we're going to keep doing this metric, and if people like it, please comment. But I think this is just like a poll of what people are feeling right now. The poll's taking place in our Discord, so it's heavily influenced by our league. But I mean, a lot of these players are playing in big tournaments and stuff too. So I think that we're even feeling it the same basically in our locals at Denver and stuff
definitely.
like that. So.
Let us know if we're completely wrong, though, if you're seeing a turn 1 meta everywhere. I'm curious to see what you're playing.
It can change pretty violently, pretty quickly.
sure.
Because I was playing at the North Store, actually, 2 weeks ago. And I was shocked by the amount of stacks pieces. Because I came out ready to make like turn 1 and turn 2 win attempts. And then I just got like bodied by like Dampening Sphere here and Rest in Peace there. And so even within like short distances, how do they get it on turn 1? That's the spell you cast on turn 1. You're an absent. You can play Necro. Sorry, that's an aside. I worked it on my own time. Anyways, something we're really passionate about is trying to understand as much about cEDH as we can, codify that knowledge, and then take it into tournaments, not only so that we can improve as individuals, as a team, but also as a community. And so it is so valuable to us if you're an East Coast player, if you're in the LA scene, or if you're playing in like Salt City or Ohio or any of those locations, and you're having like a vastly different experience. That is such valuable information for us, because then when we travel for Royal Rumble, when we travel for Solstice, we don't immediately get bodied like I did when I went to the North Store, my Dampening Sphere, and Rest in Peace. I'll let it go when I get a win.
So I'm curious, do you think Cabbage Merchant is the reason we're slowing down? Is that?
Oh man, I don't know. And we will all find out together later in this episode, maybe. What a cliffhanger that is. Dude, this is like a Between the Lions episode. I'm looking at a tab that says pregame.gg, and I don't know what it means. Logan, explain it to me.
So we talked about this last week, and pregame is a good resource if you want to take part in cEDH coaching, either if you want to be a coach or if you want to advertise your coaching. We're trying to create a platform where coaches can advertise, and also for players, you can just find a coach that lines up with what you're looking for, your skill level, your skill set. What do you want to play turbo? Do you want to play mid-range? Do you want to play stacks? Whatever. There's all kinds of coaches on here. And Demetrius and I are working on this. And I didn't talk to the rest of the team about it, but I was like, you know what? It's something I wanted to do. And we did a little bit of this on Adnos, but I think it deserves its own home elsewhere. And we really want it to be like a neutral space so that anyone can use it. Yeah, I'm doing critical EDH and stuff, but this is not critical EDH. This is pregame.gg.
Yeah, I think that tools like this are really, really powerful. If you, for instance, if you've been playing at tournaments for 3 or 4 months and you find yourself in this space where you're losing and you're having a hard time either connecting the dots or formulating the data in a way that give you actionable next steps. Something that we've gotten the chance to talk about with Freedom, Evan Waffle Pierce, in-person interviews, is that there's no silver bullet to improve it. You can't cheat code your way into, oh, I'm just gonna make, top cut every single game. But I think coaching can be a good first step if you're looking to kind of figure out kind of the horizon that you want to be moving towards as a player. For instance, I know even just getting to chat with you as a friend, sometimes you'll say things from an outside perspective, either about timing or sequencing that never would have occurred to me as a player. I think something I think about a lot was I would always use, I don't know where I picked this up along the way, but if I had like an Enlightened tutor or a Vampiric, any of these kind of like instant speed top deck tutors, I was just obsessed with casting them in my upkeep. But especially once I started playing Blue Farm, you have so many opportunities to draw a card other than your draw step. That's actually the least amount of cards you're gonna draw is on your draw step. And so Logan was just noticing, he's like, well, I feel like you could have like held on to that tutor at the very least, see what cards you draw for like Timna. And for some reason, it was like, I was watching Oppenheimer. It was like, it had never occurred to me in And Logan split the atom in front of me by suggesting casting at instant speed at a different point in time.
And I was like, yeah, why are you like dumping it now? Like, just hold it and see what happens. Like, act like you have mana up. And, whatever. He's like, that's kind of a good idea.
I was like, that literally has never occurred to me
You see that
before.
word on the card that says instant? Yeah, it kind of means something. Yeah, I think so much of Magic and cEDH takes place in our own heads that, whether you realize it or not, becomes like a feedback loop of the way you analyze cards, the way you analyze play patterns, and the way you think about the game is so internalized that it's really hard to like break out of that. And I think a coach can help you do that. Coaching isn't for everyone. I'm not saying go out and spend like hundreds of dollars in coaching or whatever. It's not going to fix everything. But if you're looking to take your game to the next level and you're hitting those walls or you're plateauing or you're not getting the results you want, I think that's a really great way to break out of it, is to get structured help from a seasoned player. And yeah.
I completely agree. I think this is fulfilling a very similar role as Tough Mulligan's online tournament. Is if you are part of a thriving tournament scene, there's likely veteran players or people who may be coaches on this website that I'm sure you could talk to and ask to like look over your lift. But if you're in this space where you're only able to play spell table games or you're only on cockatrice and you have a difficult time developing these relationships, a coach can be a really good way to also get connected to a network of like other players, as well as if you don't want to spend money. I think Discord and like the critical EDH Discord, honestly, I think is another great way of getting connected with other players.
Yeah, and we hear this so many times too, because if you listen to any comedians tournament recaps and stuff like that, he's like, oh, I coached this person and look, they top cut, and it was so nice to work with them, and we had worked on this list a lot and things like that. Just having that like layer of feedback, and even I've used coaching, like comedian. I had a session with him before Snowy Summit, and I was like, am I crazy for like not running Bowmasters? And he's like, well, you're not crazy. But like everyone in my local scene was like, you're coping. Like, don't do that.
Boo, no Bowmasters.
But
Bowmasters.
But even just having like that reliable source of you're not crazy is like, it's nice, you know?
Yeah.
We're just trying to design the site so that it's like easy to use, easy to navigate. It's very, very structured and clean, and like there's no ads or anything like that. It's just you find a coach and see if they line up with you. All the prices are right there. Right now, we're not taking any cut from any coach. We're just advertising for the coaches. And if you want to build a profile, you can submit a link on there, like fill out a form. We'll either approve it or not. Kind of depends. But
yeah. I mean, you guys know us. We are so committed to bring the best quality product we can, regardless of what shape or format that's coming in. So if there's any like UI, UX stuff, obviously there's only so much we can do. But as you guys have feedback, please find an avenue to communicate to us, because we want to make sure that we are putting our best foot forward and helping you guys put your best foot forward.
Yeah, and same with like quality of coaches and stuff. We're trying to maintain that level of quality. You mind clicking into one of them?
Do Jason's.
No, we're doing Spookies.
Oh, Spooky!
Dude, he's got Choco on there, bro. Spooky is just an awesome player and brewer, and if you want to get like excellent brewing advice, definitely someone to talk to.
Oh yeah.
I was just mentioning to Spooky about Choco. I'm like, dude, this commander, like literally 0 people are playing it, and it reads like a really powerful card. And he's like, wow, like it's kind of like you can play actual factual bird tribal and like not be punished for it.
Caw.
It's so cool to see like the list up there, but you can see like there's a profile, and then the idea is that if you are a coach, you can copy this link, you can share it on your socials, and you can be like, this is my homepage, this is how you get in contact with me, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want,
some we're super excited about. Yeah.
If you want cEDH coaching, go check out pregame.gg. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love this card. I love Step so much.
Yeah. This card is so cool. I think there are 2 things, and before I get too far, we need to read the card. But before I forget, there are 2 things that are permanently stapled to each side of step through for me. One of them is I just assume it's in a Krark list, and then I just assume you're probably the one casting it. I think of you in this card in the same sentence. Logan, what is step through?
Step through is if you read this card, you're like, wow, this card's terrible. It's a blue card. It's 5 mana sorcery, and it's double blue for some reason. Return 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. It has Wizard Cycling 2, which means you can pay 2 of any color, discard this card, and find a wizard, put it in your hand.
How many wizards could
speed.
I possibly be tutoring for? I mean, I can't even think of any. Logan, you're going to have to name at least one wizard that I would tutor with this.
Did I say the T word?
The T word.
Fast as Oracle.
Oh man. Oh geez. Let's see.
No, I think like Fast as Oracle is like one of the first wizards we all go to.
Yeah.
But if you're playing Fast as Oracle, you're probably playing black, which means you're playing better tutors than step through. So it really doesn't count. But this tutors for things like Valley Floodcaller,
Oh
High Fate
yeah.
Trickster,
Yeah.
Thrasios, Krark, if you're running Krark in the 99. But
Yeah.
all the Krark doublers, like a lot of them
Yeah.
are wizards. It's just an interesting card.
I feel like there are so many wizards
Spellseeker?
that are either like part of like an A plus B combo or help bridge the kind of like whatever like mid-range situation you're in, they help one value engine kind of connect to another. Like I feel like Spellseeker I think is like a great example of like there's really no bad time to have a Spellseeker in hand.
And if you're playing Cavern of Souls, you're playing like Cavern on Human probably, right? But if you're not playing Cavern of Souls on Human, it's probably on Wizard.
Oh yeah, that is a really good point.
Yeah.
So
VD's a Wizard.
yeah, oh man, wasn't Nadu a wizard?
Yeah.
I miss him so much.
Yeah.
So speaking,
Step Through is like a weird card because it's just, it's like a mana sink. That's the way I view it. You can pitch it to blue cards, and that's great for that reason.
Yeah.
It's a terrible removal spell, so like don't use it for that unless you absolutely have to.
yeah,
But
it's like a reverse. This town ain't big enough, where it costs more.
it's great in those situations where you go like land, Soul Ring, pass, and you have a Step Through in your hand, and you're
okay,
like, cool.
yeah.
Like I'll just step through. I got nothing else to do with the Soul Ring, and it's gonna untap anyway. So like, that's totally fine. And in decks like Kinnan has a ton of mana that it needs to do something
It
with.
really does.
And a lot of times it helps you find those like wizard pieces like Thrasios or Valley Floodcaller and High Fate like we talked about. Flash enablers are super important in that deck.
yeah, they're super important.
Currently I'm not playing this in Kinnan, but I am thinking about it. It's kind of like an effect I want.
So let's kind of conversationally fill out the range of this card. So let's imagine we were having a conversation, and I was saying like I'm thinking of putting Rod Thras together, and I'm trying to figure out should I put Step Through in Rod Thras? What are some evaluative questions you would ask me to help me make that decision?
I think the first thing I think about is like, do I care about wizards enough where I'm like actively looking to tutor for them? And if you're relying on Floodcaller for things like untapping your Birds of Paradise with Enduring Vitality, and that's like one of your main value engines / win lines, then maybe you do want Step Through because you make a ton of mana. You just need to find the card, right?
I cut Enduring Vitality and Valley Floodcaller. Should I still be on it?
Probably not. Probably not.
Go back to standard.
But it's also like a card in like high blue decks if you're even 3-color blue or 2-color blue, and you're really leveraging like Commandeer, Misdirection, Force of Will, Snapback, and you just like, you don't care if you pitch this card. It literally does not matter.
Do you feel like, for instance, if someone was trying to play like a Dimir good stuff, and like, okay, I just want to play like Talion, I just want to sit behind a draw engine, and I just want to have like a bunch of like really big impactful spells. Do you think that this could be a good fit for that?
I could see it in Italian for sure. Yeah, because I think you probably run like 3-4 wizards where it's flexible enough, and in that deck you're in like I said, low color blue or high amount of blue, but like 2 colors, right? The deck is mostly blue. There's what? A couple black cards, like they're all tutors and stuff like that, and maybe a couple rituals, but
I don't know any cards. None of them are green. I don't know.
it's just an interesting card that I think it should be on people's radar. And I'm not saying that like it goes in every deck. Absolutely not. Like it's just another card that's in the toolbox of things to consider.
Speaking of considering things, when you think about interaction, right? We're talking like spot removal, exiling. We're talking about board wipes, toxic deluge. How strong?
I haven't seen that card in forever.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Where would you rate bounce effects, targeted bounce effects?
It's weird because like if you're bouncing Kinnan stuff and they have flash, it doesn't matter because they just have all the mana in the world anyway. Like you're just gonna replay it, and sometimes you're doing them a favor.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
So bounce effects are weird, and like this card has a really bad one because it's a sorcery speed. But
Watch out, guys.
I mean, I think there's one game that I cast this actually. And
Yeah?
I did win that game.
Nice.
but,
Okay. Oh.
you know, I don't know. Bounce effects are interesting. Like Flood Maw is neat because it's a 1-mana bounce spell and it can bounce things that aren't creatures. But I don't know. After playing Tivit, I'm kind of valuing like swords and path a little bit more.
Oh yeah, that's so fair. So we were just talking about cEDH Defcon levels.
Yeah.
What would you see changing in the cEDH meta to make step-through stocks go to the moon?
It's probably even more viable in mid-range, right? Because this card doesn't trigger Steady and it doesn't trigger Tithes.
That's true,
It's just
yeah.
like you have mana, you can use it on something, maybe get something impactful, go on top of somebody else with the Flash Enabler. And when we see more mid-range strategies like we saw earlier this year, that's probably where this is most valuable. I think this card's also pretty common in Anala.
Yeah.
So that's a turbo deck, but that card uses it to find Spellseeker.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that card must find Spellseeker, like
No.
however it can, right?
Get me a Sharpie, I will draw it on the back of my Soul Ring if I have to. Off camera, obviously. I could be referencing anything. So I guess trying to make a joke and then desperately pivoting away from it. So I guess something I'm hearing is that this would be a good option if you're in kind of like a toolboxy mid-range that either needs to be able to pivot and move fast, because you're in a situation where you need to get to your Value Flood Caller ASAP, and you're not sure that you have time to Demonic Tutor to hand. Or you're in these more kind of like sloggier games where somehow a sorcery speed 5-mana bounce spell is relevant.
Not the worst thing.
No, well, yeah, because like at some point, like if you've got a Smothering Tithe out or a Cabbage Merchant through like 2 counter spells, like we need to start doing like different math, because suddenly if something costs 1 mana versus 2 mana, it's not nearly as relevant because you have Omniscience on board. And so the multi-functionality, the multi-purpose of something kind of toolboxy can really elevate its stats in 99.
Yeah, for sure.
I also think something like about this card is that it's an uncounterable Demonic Tutor for Flood Caller, right? It is something that
It's even weirder. It's a uncounterable instant speed DT.
yeah, exactly.
Or whatever color you want. Like it doesn't have to be black, right?
Yeah.
Like
And so if you're able to use this to find your Flood Caller, and we all know how hard it is to like counter a creature, like that is, at some point in the game, this is better than DT when it comes to finding a Flood Caller.
Yeah, you like, you know, I try to think of like adjacent effects that we might see in other areas of Magic. So, for instance, like Baseja Who Shelters All is on a land, but it can make a spell like uncounterable. Or you have like Emergent Zone where you pay 1 colorless. And then now all your spells are like flash speed. And then when we're evaluating a card, we can then compare them against this range of alternative effects to evaluate it. And just like you guys are talking about, first off, the cost of something being on 2 colorless is insane. Insane. I don't think anyone's ever ad nauseam been like, God, I just wish I had colorless. As well as like, you know, we are an instant speed format. Sometimes you just don't have time. I mean, I know we're talking about a sorcery speed spell, so hang in there with me, guys. But sometimes you need something and you need it now. And so to have something that can find a creature breaking outside of a color identity, it's on a blue card on a colorless casting cost essentially, but it doesn't even have to cast it.
It's like
You're
a channel
activating it.
spell. Yeah, right?
I feel like we're in Touch the Spirit Realm territory, kind of.
Yeah. Let's talk about a non-exhaustive list of wizards that are ranked by EDH Rec Rank. Archmage Emeritus, Thassa's Oracle, Warren Soul Trader,
Oh, whoa.
Drannith Magistrate, Dualcaster Mage,
Okay.
Div Visit, Harmonic Prodigy,
Okay, yeah.
Sylvan Safekeeper's a wizard? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a human wizard. Yeah. Doesn't trigger it off of Nissa.
Spellseeker, Veyrin for Kark decks.
Okay, yeah.
Aven Mind Sensor is a wizard. So you could
You could search for even Mind Sensor.
that's kind of nuts.
It's like, "Ah!" you better enjoy while I'm searching, because I'm the last one who's gonna.
Valley Flood Caller,
There it is.
Coruscation Mage, which is a Obnex card.
Oh yeah, that's the little otter that pings.
High Fae.
Yeah.
I'm only reading ones that are cEDH viable. Snapcaster Mage.
That's good. Snapcaster Mage is a card that I have learned to respect alongside with Drannith Magistrate.
Dude, Trophy Mage in Kinnan is a wizard.
Oh.
So,
Okay, so you only need 1 blue pip to tutor for Basalt Monolith if you have this.
Yeah.
Because you Wizard Cycle, get the Trophy Mage, then you've just got Basalt.
Yeah. Ruthless Technomancer.
Ooh.
Deep Gnome Terramancer.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, a card I love.
VV. I said Trophy Mage.
VV,
The other Nip Visit. I think that's pretty much it as far as like
Nip
cEDH
Visit Visionary.
ones.
Yeah.
Thrasios.
He is a wizard.
Which is weird. Tashana's Tidebinders, no one plays that card.
Dang.
Kids
It's okay, Orvar players. He didn't mean it.
But yeah, I mean, I just think there's a lot
Spellstutter
of...
Sprite, that's probably a wizard.
Derevi?
Derevi? Is Malevolent Hermit? Is that a human?
Yes.
That feels...
I think.
Yeah,
Hermit's a
druid?
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, maybe he was a druid
I'll get
before the
roasted
housing
by
crisis. But
chat for that. Acererak is a wizard.
I know the name of that card. Yep.
He's the one that bounces on it crazy style, never finish a dungeon, and you kill all your opponents.
Oh, yeah. I do know him. I do know that. That's a Kodama
Yeah,
card.
Malevolent Hermit. It's right there.
There we go. Heck yeah.
Oh, you said Malevolent Hermit. I was thinking Hermit Druid. I'm like,
Oh,
You're like, I think it's a druid, guys.
That's true.
Magus of the Candelabra.
Oh, okay.
Harbinger of the Seas. There's actually a surprising amount of stacks wizards.
Flood Moon, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Interesting card. Maybe you should play it. Maybe you shouldn't.
If you played this card and it lost you the game, and this is an important caveat, it's an interesting story I can read quickly. Put in the comments.
All right, what do we have up next?
Well, speaking of expensive cards that you could put into Kinnan.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a rage bait post, but I honestly think this card is really powerful. And watching Jason absolutely cook Jordan.
hey, I won one game.
They were playing Vintage. It was like Dredge versus Shops.
Yeah.
And Jason had like a pre-ban or pre-restricted Shops, so it had like 4 Urza Sagas,
man.
all the stuff in it, right? And he's like, "Oh, I have Outcome," and then he'd like Outcome all of his stuff, and then like put it all back down, and then Outcome again, and then like,
dude.
I just think the card is really interesting.
Acererak wishes he could go up and down as much as Paradoxical Outcome does. Yeah, this is something. I think I'm trying to remember the thing you were comparing to. You almost described it as like a blue necro.
Yeah, that's what I said in this post.
Yeah.
I was like, wondering why people aren't playing this. I think mostly the reason is it says non-token.
Yeah, I think as well as like if you land like a Necro turn 1, like it's always going to be good. Whereas like you need to have already done a lot of good things for this to then be good. But I think you were talking about it in relation to Kinnan, which I think is a great example, because that's a deck that's always looking to just put a bunch of like artifacts and stuff into play, especially on like turn 1 and turn 2. And it's very comfortable developing mana and then finding some card, usually Kinnan, but some card to help transition that mana into value. And Paradoxical Outcome not only gives you access to like cards, but also in cEDH we play a lot of 0 mana rocks, so you're also turning it right back into mana.
I think in some builds of Kinnan, it is worth testing. I know that older builds in the past have played this card, but it is an instant. Like,
Yeah.
Kinnan has no problem making 3 colorless.
Yeah.
And a blue is fine. It doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
So if you can, there's so many games I've won where I have a Chain of Vapor. I Chain of Vapor all of my rocks back.
Yeah.
I replay them all again to make more mana. But this does that and draws me cards.
A card that this kind of reminds me of, I'd be curious about you guys' opinion. I want to hear from the producer chairs from this. This makes me think of like Dramatic Reversal, where I tend to be very jealous of my blue pips. You want one of my blue pips? No, you can't have it. I need it for later. 2 of them for a creature that's a wizard who shall not be named. But with cards like Dramatic Reversal, or I would argue Paradoxical Outcome, I would wager one of those artifacts that you're bouncing is going to be able to get you that blue mana back. So that's a card. When I'm thinking of this, you're thinking of Necro. I'm thinking of like Dramatic Reversal. Do you guys think that's like a relevant domain to be thinking of this card in?
Yeah, I do think that it's like a mana acceleration card, right? Like I think that you're only using it to ramp more than you should, than it looks like you should be able to. But realistically, I'm looking at it in Rogthras. If you're playing like the clone Rogthras style of deck, where you're trying to like keep cloning Cloud of Fairies or Badger Mole Cubs, then like cards like this to like pick up all your clones to replay them to
keep untapping your cradle,
Yeah.
Well, it's
or
almost
like to pick up Candelabra and play it again. Like I think that is something that and 4 mana in Rogthras is nothing.
It's whatever.
It's like actually nothing, right?
Activation.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
so,
God. It is
and so
aggressive
being able to use that in something like Rogthras, specifically something like Sam Black's Rogthras, where he is on like the Simic
Yeah, kind of bounce house style.
only clones Rogthras
too.
is something that's really interesting to me. And then oddly enough, Maelstrom Wanderer.
Oh my God.
Because
Yeah.
you have so many things that like the deck. The scariest part of Maelstrom Wanderer for me playing against it is the haste.
Yeah, yeah.
And like paradoxical outcome, like just lets you pick it up, and it's basically free draw cards in the
Yeah.
deck. Because then you can just like replay all your dorks and they retap for all the mana.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I'd be interested in to like see how that would work in both of those decks.
This card also goes crazy with Displacer Kitten.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, because that makes me think of, because you were talking about like Rogthras. If you like get this off a Thunder Trap trainer activation,
Yeah.
Oh, let me pick up my trainer again.
God, please.
Yeah.
I need to concede. You need to accept my concession. If you keep playing, it will not matter. You've already got the points.
Yeah. But yeah, like truly, I think like an outcome in Rogthras is really interesting to me.
Well, and the other thing is, it's these decks that produce a shit ton of mana, and they need something to do with it. And this is something to do with your mana,
Can
right?
you realistically play this in any like Cradle Thrasios variant? So like a Cradle TNT or a Tavish Thras or any of these?
So now let's imagine like someone who's like an adversary of this card. I'm Eric, and I hate Paradoxical Outcome and anyone who plays
Gee,
it.
where can we get this episode format from? Which one of our friends has a podcast in which we talk about cards?
It could be anyone. It could be any Corvold player.
That's a great card. Right?
That's an incredible card. So I'm gonna say, well, but I feel like everyone always has a risk studying a fish. And I drew him a ton of cards the first time I played all these damn artifacts. And now, sure, I'm drawing one card for each one, but they've all got risk studies. So all I'm gonna do with this card is draw my opponents a bunch of cards. So I'm not gonna play it. What would you say to me in that situation to encourage me to look at it either in a different lens or to maybe see a different side of the card?
Who cares if you run an Abolisher or something like that, right? You run an Abolisher and then you Paradoxical Outcome, then you win. Also,
Yeah, if you have flash speed,
Also, yeah.
who gives a shit, really? Because you're just going to keep going over the top of everything, recasting your rocks, and draw 20 cards.
and if you have a Tithe and your opponents have heuristics and you bounce all your stuff and you recast everything into heuristic, you have infinite mana, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just drawing and you're just making treasures, and you know you're in a good spot.
Also, I think that like the decks that I'm looking at this in, which is we're saying like, hey, you have a shitload of mana. You're casting this and making more mana than
You're making
like,
more mana than God.
Like
Yeah.
like there's been times where I was playing like Yoshi Thras or even Timna Thras, and like I was like, oh, there's 2 Ristic studies in play. I'm paying for both of them for the rest of this game, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Especially
Right.
if you have like multiple Cloud of Fairy ETBs. And
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
just untapping Cradle and whatever. Over
Yeah.
and over again. It goes crazy.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So when you guys were talking, you talked about having access to like Flash Speed or Grand Abolisher or Smothering Tide. I feel like what I'm hearing is that this is kind of like a turn the corner card.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's a turn in the corner card for decks that make a ton of mana and they need to get cards into their hand in order to do something with it, and or replay those effects in order to progress their game state.
Yeah.
Dude, and or like, man, if you're an Earthcraft,
Yeah.
like this card just picks up all your creatures to like, oh, dude, like a Rog deck, any blue Rog deck like starts like, I think I'm really looking at this card because it's free, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that
There's
this
probably
card,
like a Rogthras like Cheerios list where you can run stuff like this.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the card's incredible, right? It's like broken and vintage, so like that's
we know
something
the
that we
card
should
is
all
broken.
look at it. Yeah, exactly.
There's no question that the card is broken, but does it fit into our format right now? Like what decks does it fit into if it does fit?
Yeah.
Is it broken because it can be more than a one of in those other formats? Like, does the reliability of
You
access to
you
it?
draw into Paradoxical Outcome with all of your mock sapphires.
yeah, you just like keep going off the POs. Yeah, possibly.
Urza players. Oh.
I think the difference is that we can more reliably tutor for it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because we have better options for that.
Is this a
Can you
tutor
imagine if this
target,
card was a
realistically?
wizard? Damn.
Like, does this become a card that you're looking for in certain situations?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it just in Kinnan you can't tutor for it realistically.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because if you have study, you're going to draw it at some point.
Yeah. Do you think that this becomes what if someone instead of just being a generic hater, they were like, yeah, it's good, but if you have flash speed, a grand abolisher, and a smothering tithe, shouldn't anything get you across the line? What am I cutting to add this card?
Again, I'm looking at Rogthras. I think I'm cutting this town. Even though it's a combo piece, it's like a bad combo piece.
Yeah.
But I think this card does exactly what I want this town to do most of the time, but more a lot of the time, right? Like it's more expensive, but it draws you cards. It picks up your Candelabra, like I said. It picks up your Cloud of Fairies. It picks up your Eternal Witness.
Still lets you loop that.
That's true.
Yeah, you can still.
Technically, you can
Ewit.
still loop your Ewit with your Candelabra.
You have to be
but
careful
you're
not
drawing
to deck
cards.
yourself, but you can still do it.
Yeah,
You
but
lose the
at that point,
interaction
like that's your
piece.
whole plan, right?
Yeah. No,
So-
my library's in my hands. What am I
It
gonna do?
It also says any number of target. Whatever,
Yeah.
Right. So I think one thing that we haven't talked about, you have to be careful to not get swatted with this. A swat will potentially screw you up. And also,
It's hard. Well, yeah, they still have to target your own stuff, though.
I know.
Yeah.
But if you're selectively targeting things,
oh yeah.
you want to be careful to not get swatted with this. It's probably not that effective, right? Because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm still going to draw whatever cards anyway. But
Oh, I got him. Bounces Chrome Mox instead of his Mox Amber. Idiot.
it could be the difference in some games, though.
Yeah, I think another kind of heuristic that I will use when evaluating cards is, I'm imagining, like you put this in Cannon, and I'm playing against you. Am I Flare of duping this spell? And I feel like the odds of me Flare of duping this spell seem pretty high. Like,
I don't know. You have to
depends on
bounce. You have to bounce your stuff to do it.
yeah,
Right?
It
but
depends on the deck. Because,
Yeah.
this is not a blue farm card. It's just not.
no.
What is blue farm? It doesn't want to bounce its study, its ties.
It's like
whatever.
bouncing
Like,
its mana vault.
Yeah.
Maybe vault, but that's not enough.
Yeah, I feel like Blue Farm would go on the keys before we go on this.
Yeah.
It would go back on the one ring before this, actually,
Yeah.
probably, I bet. Eric, the Tortoise.
I
Blue
actually
Farm
think
player.
the flare of dupe chances on this card are fairly low. Like,
I agree.
unless it's like a Rog Thras mirror match, right? And then you've got flare against, and you're like, okay, well, that sucks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I feel like when I think of Flare Dupe, I just kind of assume I have a Rog Rack on the board. And I feel like Rogsai, Rog Thras, both seem like they'd be pretty good at this. I feel like if you're a Kinnan and you could you see double this? Oh, man.
Is this a Rog side card?
Potentially,
It's been in Rogsai's of the past, I thought.
for sure.
It is interesting. I mean, it has. I mean, we all play the 0 mana rocks, but that deck uses them better and
That
faster
deck
than
runs
everyone
4
else, right?
talisman, or well, 3 plus Falwar and
Yeah, but you're not trying. Like PO doesn't really do anything with the talismans. You're worried about like your free rocks.
It doesn't
right?
do anything with the talismans, but they're on the field,
Yeah, that's
It
true.
gives you cards.
right?
It does give
They're,
you
they're already
cards.
there. So like later in the game, like
they can
turn 3, they can just go whoop.
Yeah, and it can just draw 7 cards, right?
7's enough to win the game. Almost
Yeah,
always,
yeah,
right?
especially with Rogsai. Yeah.
I think I also am a very moving from antagonist to protagonist in relationship to this card. Something I really, really like about this is something the more I play Lumra, the more I become obsessed with the ability to move the location of things from my library to my hand, from my hand to the battlefield, from the battlefield to the graveyard. Especially in decks like, for instance, like Rogthras or Kinnan, where you always have access to a lot of mana, and you either have a permanent stuck on the board or in the graveyard, and the ability of something just to be able to take all of your non-token permanents on your board and pick them up, I think is also something that just affords a lot of utility. You talked about this town. I think the fact that you lose the utility of picking up opponents' permanents, I think is relevant. But yeah, I think especially if you're in Turbo, this not only lets you have access to new avenues of mana because you just replay your Grim Monolith, you replay your Mana Vault, but also it's drawing you cards along the way. This feels like a force multiplier, kind of.
What if you're doing this in response to like a Culling Writ?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Whoa.
Protecting your board.
Logan, I can only be so erect.
No,
That's
like,
insane.
or like a Toxic Deluge or something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Don't you
somebody-
crack all your
or
treasures? cast
realistically,
this?
the big one is Downpour.
Yo!
Yeah.
But
Also,
even
wait.
Also, it gets around
Wait.
downpour after downpour resolves.
Hold on.
Is this
or
just-
if you are the downpour, you get to. No, those are all tokens. I was gonna say, wait, you get to just like rip all your downpours back. That would have been
Bro,
insane.
I feel like if you always looked at Psych Rift and man, I wish this could bounce my own permanence, you want
Yeah.
the Paradoxical Outcome.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth testing in certain decks.
Yeah.
Realistically, anyone that can make a shitload of mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's look at the heuristics for decks that can play this. It's decks that play a lot of permanents, make a lot of mana, and then struggle to get across the finish line.
Yeah, it's like Urza, Rogdrass,
Yeah.
Kinnan.
Kinnan doesn't struggle.
Doesn't
to get-
struggle, but it is a good
this,
card for him.
This speeds it up.
Yeah.
I think Kinnan can be in situations where you have a path to victory, but it's a popular enough deck that it's telegraphed, and you've got decks gatekeeping access to that victory. You know, for instance, like you have a reveal, you wizard cycle for Trophy Mage, Basalt Monolith is in hand, and I'm like, I have this strict serenade and only one spell I can use it on. And this is a way of, even if it's just 1% off axis of every other spell that's been cast that game, it gives you that much more of an edge. And maybe you cast it, and then you draw someone a million cards, and then they like auto-wara your Grand Abolisher, and then they win. And then it happens, and you're like, okay, maybe I should cut this card and just go back to like Dramatic Reversal or something. But I feel like from what we talked about today, I feel very interested in testing this and see how it looks.
Yeah. I also think just like if you're running a lot of clones, like I think you should at least look at this card.
Yeah. This is a really good example of why you should play other formats and the effect that other formats can have on your play in cEDH. We play a lot of the same and similar powerful cards, right? But there's cards like this that see play more commonly in formats like Vintage, where we don't really see, like, I can't even tell you the last time I saw a PO in cEDH, right?
I don't know if I have ever seen one cast. I've seen it in lists, and I've definitely seen it show up on Scryfall searches, but I don't know if I've ever been in a game where this has been cast. Definitely not where it's been cast and resolved.
But also, like, you look at the card and you're like, wow, this seems broken. It seems powerful. It reads as those things.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, do you have the right deck for it?
Yeah, like there's no, this has to go infinite with like Eternal Witness somehow, right? Like there's got to be so many different ways.
I mean, yeah, we just said it, right?
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
Candelabra, Eternal Witness, PO, and a Cradle
Yeah.
will
Well,
get you there. You
Snap.
need a lot of creatures for that, but
You can use Snap, right?
you can
Snap,
snap,
Ewit,
snap
and then-
this town.
you don't need Snap.
Oh.
You just need Paradoxical Outcome.
It's
you
the-
pick up
oh,
your
yeah, you
Ewit
pick
and
up
Candelabra.
Ewit. Yeah.
It's
You just
it's
need
the
the
back
mana to
it's the
convert it,
backup for
but
if like your
It's
staff
harder to
gets like
convert for
MPT.
sure.
Yeah.
I think
I
you need
definitely-
7 creatures for it to work, but you're drawing enough cards that you might be able to get there.
Oh,
We've
that's
seen a bunch
true.
of rocks.
Well, I guess you need 2 rocks or a mana vault to change that math.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It definitely for me, this is giving like Smothering Tithe, Fairy Mastermind. Like I just want a card that like does so many things, and then also I can transition into like a win if I need to. And I love cards like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's jump to our next tab and then grab someone else in this chair.
So we have adnauts.gg.
We can't stop making stuff.
I know. Adnons has been great. I know that Vafnar is trying to post like another write-up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Sick.
he messaged me and he's like, I hit some limit and I'm like, it's not letting me post. I'm like, dude, you're over the character limit. Like, can you split it? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it later when I get home. But we're using Adnons as a way to like put a lot of written content and like a little bit longer form stuff. So every week we have questions that we're putting up there, and these are some leftover from last week and some new ones from this week.
Awesome. I think I can actually read these.
Yeah,
this
so I don't know how to say this name. Recessant.eth? Sure. If you're looking to get into cEDH, what's the best route for dipping your toes into the format? Copy one of the best performing decks at the moment, or find something interesting but can also be high powered to use, i.e. Blue Farm versus Najeela.
time. I mean, honestly, maybe this is the wrong way to answer this question, but I don't know if it's worth even dipping your toes in. I think you should just jump into this format. Like, there was someone
Head first,
Yeah,
not toes.
yeah, no, just dive in and get dunked on.
There's
a bunch.
rocks at the bottom, but it doesn't
fine.
matter. Yeah.
There was John brought one of his friends to last Saturday.
Okay.
And this friend has never played cEDH before, had played casual before. And they had the, I don't know, they got to have the experience of a pod of me, Kevin, and Jason
Oh boy.
for like their second game ever.
Yeah.
And they had
Into the blender we go.
yeah, exactly. But like I don't know, that's how I learned. I think that's the best way to learn.
But that also kind of like, I think most people get to that experience, and if they have a head on their shoulders, they're like, okay, I want to figure out what that actually means. Like I want to figure out, why do I feel the way I do? Why am I like so underwater I can't like keep up and that kind of stuff? And they want to overcome that feeling, right? And some people, they can't handle it and they're like, okay, this isn't for me.
Yep.
I would encourage those people to try again, right? But I think you had a good experience just jumping into the format, and you really you took it head first. You top 4'd your first 2 events.
Yep. And then
It's very cool.
ended up there with John again recently.
Hey, you were on blue of those first 2 events.
That's true. That's true.
But
I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I think everyone has a little bit of different experience. A lot of people have this progression path of going from high power casual to cEDH and just like not wanting to play that game anymore of just like the power creep and the arms race and stuff like that. I think it's fun while you're experiencing it, and then like towards the end of it, you're like, I either like need to shit or get off the pot. Like I need to either play cEDH or just stop doing what we're doing right now and go back down to just playing total casual.
I also think like going into this question, like what's the best like route to getting into it? I took the wrong route, which was trying to brew myself, right?
Cool. Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. I think the way you start is I think you treat it a little bit like it's like a completely new game, and you don't like. I think you jump in with the best decks first, and then once you have a good grasp of the format and what the best decks can do, then I think brewing something that looks interesting to you becomes a lot more lucrative and like feels a lot better. I think if you start with a deck that you feel like is high powered but could be cEDH, I think there's a big possibility you learn bad habits.
Yeah,
Right,
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I, like realistically, it's
You have only learned bad habits by playing casual.
Yeah, 100%.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that's where I think you jump in with some of the best decks. It doesn't need to be Blue Farm. I think you look at the format and there's a lot of different decks depending on your playstyle that you like, right? Like if you're a control player, I would look at the top control decks, right? In casual, if you're like a stacks or an aggro player, I would look at a turbo list. Sorry, and then if you're a stacks player, right? Like there's a bunch of different decks for like what kind of playstyle you want. But yeah, I would definitely start with like one of the tried and true decks first.
I'll be honest. I think that like one of the best decks to actually learn the format is Tivit, because you'll lose a lot, but you'll learn the cards that are like the most dangerous in the format, and you'll learn when you need to be scared of them.
And you have a pretty easy combo
Yep.
to actually win. You have Thassa's Oracle, Decon plus Tainted Pact,
Plus,
and then
yeah.
Tivit times Civ. And you're absolutely right about picking a known deck, and Farm is a really, really complicated deck. The ceiling is extremely high on the deck, but the floor is actually really high too. So even though it feels powerful, you can start playing it and you're like, okay, well, I get maybe a little bit of this, but you're still not going to know the deck until...
Yeah,
I think
I
there's
think
a
the
lot
same
of-
things with like Kinnan, right? Kinnan is like a deck that has a very high floor and an extremely high ceiling.
Don't try to cheese the format.
Yeah.
Don't try to build. You just copy a top 16 list from a big tournament. Probably Farm, Kinnan, Rogsai.
For the love of God, do not play Atali.
No.
No, you're not going to learn anything.
Yeah, you just like literally won't learn anything.
Yeah.
No, I think like when you're first starting, right, I think the format's super proxy friendly, so it's really easy to grab a bunch of decks and try a bunch of decks. And you can use a platform like Cockatrice or like the League where you can test all the cards and play something. But yeah, I think like playing Blue Farm for like your very first game of cEDH and then coming back after you've grinded like 500 games, it just feels like a completely different deck.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually a lot of fun if you start off trying the decks, like trying Blue Farm, trying Kinnan, where you have no idea what the format is, and then come back 250 games, 200 games later, right, and just like see how much you missed, is also really euphoric and feels like a lot of fun.
Speaking of proxying decks, go to Mana Vault Proxies.
Use code
we
CRIT.
have an affiliate link. Use the code CRIT. They're $55 to proxy a deck, and they get to you very quickly. So
You can proxy Wan Chitong, one of the highest highest demanded decks at Frenzy at the Falls.
Actually, no joke, playing Wan Shutong to learn this format is also probably pretty smart.
Yeah, it's got a concise combo, and you play blue.
Yep.
Yeah, Urza's probably a fine place to start too, maybe.
I thought Wrong was great at the time too.
Wrong side.
Oh,
Wrong
yeah,
side's really good.
I highly recommend Wrong Side. Wrong Side.
I really do think that just like playing a control deck, because you'll like lose and like punt being like, oh, I had answers in my hand,
And
then you're like, oh, I won't,
I
won't make that mistake again. You know, like.
Yep.
So playing a control deck to learn the format is my suggestion. I don't necessarily know if other people agree with me.
No, I agree. I mean, I came into the format on Kafka, and it's funny. Like that was majority my list. Like I had used a little bit of what other people were doing, but I was also playing like these things that have no place anywhere. But I played it very all in on the Kafka plan before people really knew what
It was right around the time when it was like released, and
that was back when like you could get away with a Harmonic Prodigy in a Kafka, and that you won the game, and people weren't like ready for that yet. Now I think that's really bad, but
I think Avoid Green is probably a good answer.
Unless it's Kinnan.
Unless it's
Kinnan.
Yeah.
I think that there's also a possibility of like playing Glarb. Like Glarb, if you like really want to play a format like this, I think Glarb is a fun deck to play, because you just get to look at the top card of your library all the time. And like you as like a new player learning this format, like it feels good. It hits that endorphin where you're like, sick. I have information
I think
no one
new
else
players
gets.
won't know what to do with that information.
True, but I think that like just getting them hooked into that game state of like, this feels good.
I guess when I'm saying like Avoid Green, like don't play like Derevi or Rog Thras or like Najila, like even like, because Green adds a very specific thing to those decks that like doing Cradle Math and trying to win with like non-deterministic win lines with Abhorrent Breeze Caller and
Stay away from Dargo.
Like don't add things to complicate the matter.
For sure, stay away from Dargo.
Stay away from Dargo, stay away from Cradle stuff.
Also because Green is like so powerful and casual. People complain about Green all the time. They're like, Green has all the ramp, they have like Crater Hoof and Pathbreaker, Ibex, and all these big effects that like find out what other colors can do that like there's not really like a lot of Izzet Spellslinger decks in casual. Like play Niv Mizzet or something like that. Like you know, explore the format. In the words of Natasha Bedingfield, what is it? Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. Like just let it go. Like you're not playing the same format anymore. You're like leave casual behind to an extent. Like put it out of your mind. Try not to use those experiences to like form what you're doing in cEDH, because it's such a different format that.
Also, just expect to lose a lot. Like your first few months, like take it on the chin, man.
Dude, that's all the more reason I think to actually play like Kinnan or Farm or Rogsai or one of these decks that like you can still win the game, because I think it can be a really demoralizing experience to.
It's also it's a 4-player game, right?
Yeah.
Like an okay to good win rate is 25%.
Yep.
Right. Like it is a 4-player game, and just recognizing that that's part of the format as a whole.
Yep.
Right. Is there's going to be a lot of losses, and that's also just like trying to learn. And then the last piece is I'd ask your opponents afterwards. Because like everyone that at least I've played with in cEDH is usually really open and really good at giving feedback. So
we don't want to play against bad players. We don't play against good players. And not to say that we don't want to teach new players, right? But like overall, we want more good players in the format so that
absolutely.
everyone gets better. And like part of that is helping these new players develop.
Totally.
So we want to have those conversations afterwards of like, what
and
could
there's
I
a lot
do
of dynamic
differently?
where it's like it's 3v1, right? Where and you're part of that 3 a lot of the time, where you have to stop a player. And so like just being comfortable asking for help and asking for, is this a good time to interact, right? Or if you don't know what a deck's doing, right? Everyone for the most part is incentivized to give you good information.
Yeah, there's so many times where I'm like looking at a times board state. I'm like, are we losing
are
now?
we dead?
Can someone tell me?
What's going on here?
No, okay, we're good.
What kind of money changer is that?
Speaking of Tyam, Welder.
Oh no, no, he's gonna think I planned that.
Our local Josh Welder, he's our Tyam player that plays quite often. He's also been doing really well with Tyam in the last like month and a half.
He'd be doing better with Farm, but we won't talk about that.
God, Josh is right there with Tyler on like if you gave them Farm and they played it seriously. Like
He has a farm list, and Tyler played his farm list at the
At Conquest.
charity event, Card
Yeah.
Conquest, and Tyler air quotes won that event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Time is
asks, what do you find to be the best way to prep for a tournament?
Play a lot.
Are we saying like prep like hours before, or like the day before, or the week before?
I was taking this to mean like lead up time of like a month or more. Like you have just paid for your flight or your registration fee, and you know you're locked in. Now it's
So we're
time.
talking tournament, like big tournament.
I think so.
Okay. Playing is good, but I think also sometimes you have to like let the knowledge and the experience like marinate.
Yeah.
And so taking time off to reflect
Yep.
is good, because muscles, when you work them out, like they need time to heal and strengthen. You're not actually gaining muscle mass by working them out.
Right.
Like if you never let them rest, they're never going to grow.
Right.
So you have to give yourself time to absorb that knowledge and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. We were actually just talking about this in the Dargo Discord. Like someone was talking about how they were going to cut Necro from Mardu Dargo because they have like a really without blue they feel like they can't convert the card, which like I think is a common experience that they have or that people have. But I guess where I'm going with this is like you can really easily simulate the scenario that you want to improve at, and like Necro is an example. Like sit there and rip 14 cards, sculpt, see if you can win the next time, and do that over and over again. But then, like you said, do that only so insofar as you feel like you're making progress on that, and then walk away from it and process that information.
Yeah.
Goldfish, I think is a lot from like the top players that I've heard from is like a lot of them before a tournament won't even really jam games. They'll just goldfish like 100 hands.
Yep.
But like for me, I do that a lot if I'm like taking a deck I haven't taken to a tournament before. But I think goldfishing is a good way to practice that, and goldfishing with what seat you're in and what you think the pod will be.
Yeah.
Right, and in that way you can just see a higher density of hands than you could if you sat and played 5 games on a Friday night to jam. Right, like seeing 100 hands versus 5 hands is very different.
A good way to do that is put your deck in Mox Field, scroll all the way down to the bottom, look at the hand it's dealing you, and go, would I keep this? Would I keep this on a 6? Would I keep it on a 5 or a 4 or whatever? And then keep doing that.
And if
And
you're
then-
50-50, play 1 or 2 turns, right? And see
Sure.
how it gets there.
Yeah, and then hit the playtest button.
Yeah.
You can also
Or-
use Eldrazi.dev.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Insight.
What's that new tool coming out?
Yeah.
We're gonna do
It looks-
something
it
with
looks
them
sick.
soon.
But yeah, it's basically it's like a Moxfield simulator, but also pod generates for you.
Oh, sick.
And it
Yeah.
can like simulate. You can say like, I would like my draw engine to produce a medium amount of value. Like, and it'll randomize. You drew 6 cards over. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope. Based
Yeah.
on the pod. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really
It's still
cool. I wanna
very
see this.
new, but it's really good.
He's putting a lot of work into
Yes.
it for sure.
That's real cool.
I think it is Eldrazi.dev, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Something else that Kellen does, and we use this for the town halls in Dargo Land, is he'll go into ChatGPT and be like, based on the top 20 decks off of EDH top 16, construct a random pod for me and give me a seat.
That's gas.
And so you kind of know what you're playing into, and that's how he'll simulate like what he's actually goldfishing in paper.
What I like to do is, because I playtest cards so much, I will take my list and then I will start to goldfish, like Jack said. And when I start looking at hands over and over again, I go, is this card actually going to perform for me, or is it going to? Am I just like coping with it? And then I will start cutting bullshit from my deck.
or you mulliganing that hand if you keep seeing it a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I'm like, does this card feel right? And like, I start asking myself the harder questions about deck building. Not like, what do I want to play, but like, is it going to perform? That's really what's most important in tournaments is,
Yeah, the
will this
percentage
card
points.
win me the game or get me to winning the game?
Are you guys list changers leading into a tournament, or do you prefer to try and have something stabilized leading into an event?
I mean, I think like 1 to 5 cards really doesn't change the list.
Yeah.
So having those flexible slots or just making the right meta calls, it's a skill that we all try to hone. But
I think examining the meta is something that I do quite often. Yeah. Of like seeing where the last big tournament was, figuring out like what the vast majority of what was happening, and being like, okay, how do you react to something like this if you want to try to bring like a silver bullet deck or
even
some
just a
flex
silver bullet
cards.
card,
Like like we're all like pretty high on Damping Sphere right now because it just hoses so many decks.
You guys are high on it, but I'm the only one playing it.
I'm playing it. I am playing
You're playing in the same deck as me, bro. Like,
I'm playing it in the kind of same deck with a different commander.
okay.
Yeah.
But I think that makes sense, right? Because like just look at EDH top 16 for that same month that the tournament's happening, or like within 60 days, and picking tournaments that are similar in size. You can probably guess the meta will be around what that was.
Or you can predict that the meta is going to be inferred by that tournament,
For
right?
sure. So it's gonna be adapted.
Like we all expected Fishbowl to be this crazy turbo meta.
Yeah.
And it largely
And
was.
it was, right?
Yeah.
And it like, but how did we attack that thought meta? that we
Bigger
were
question,
going
like,
to?
how do we predict it?
Yeah, exactly. That is a good question. Is how do you predict it?
I think it's just gut feeling.
I agree.
I think it's talking to a lot of players, right? Like it's talking to a lot of people all
Talking
the time,
to a lot of
right?
players, playing games, but
Yep.
also like really like just examining what do you feel is happening within like what are other players like, how are they angling? What is the
Yeah.
What are other players scared
what is the
of?
Defcon level?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure,
and
for sure.
that's the thing, right? Like we were just talking about like the Defcon level being like this 2.5, 3
Yeah.
tournament right now.
Right now it's like low 3.
Low 3, yeah,
Fishbowl
yeah.
was like 2.5.
Maybe,
Like low 2.
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. But realistically, when it comes to like locally, and you talk to some of the zeitgeist out there, it's like people are like, oh, I can see it slowing down a little bit, and you're like, okay, like that's probably what's going to happen in
But
the
it
next
slowed
big
down like
tournament.
0.7.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like,
For sure.
But maybe that's enough time for you to be like, oh, maybe I can cut Damping Sphere because I don't need it right now. I'm not necessarily saying that's like a thought in my head currently,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, is that slowing down of a half of a turn? Is that enough for me to cut a light stacks piece and put a little bit more gas in
This
my
is
deck?
why Jason has 120 cards in his sideboard of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
And it's making those hard decisions based on what you think is going to happen in the meta, and sometimes you're wrong, right? Like sometimes you're just like, oh, I didn't think that was going to happen.
To take this a little bit more literally, do you have any like rituals or things that you do for every tournament besides just like modifying your deck, or do you have any like things like that?
I can translate my experience in things that aren't Magic better than I can for Magic for that, but I think it still applies. Like when I'm competing in Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, I think the biggest thing for me is like, if you show up and you like shake hands, bump fists, and you're about to start grappling, and that's the first time you're breaking a sweat that day, you're fucked. Like because you feel
warm.
You need to be warm, and like like your kidneys like actually hurt because the adrenaline kicks in so hard, and your body like can't handle it. So you kind of have to take these incremental steps towards where you're trying to go.
So for you and cEDH, is that like playing a couple games beforehand, or is it kind of hanging out, socializing beforehand?
It's socializing. I think that like LobbyCon is really helpful. LobbyCon, especially if you're playing the deck that you're actually playing in the tournament, for me is like I get the shakes out then, especially if I'm playing against like people that I really respect, but I don't get to see in person very often. But I don't know, man. I think like whatever you need to do to get yourself in the right headspace, and that's gonna be different for everybody. But I don't think you just walk into convention center profit. Like there's definitely steps.
For me, I think I perform best when I'm bringing something either I'm really confident on or something that's unexpected.
Okay.
So I've seen my best tournament results on things that like Glarb and like wrong side people aren't ready for, especially when I was in like Heisenberg redemption event and I had triple Ristic on turn 4 and people were just staring at it going like, I was not ready for this.
He says people, I was said people.
You were ready for it.
I was ready for
The
it.
person to my right was not ready for it.
Cast
He did
spells
not
this
have
game, guys.
Yeah, he was like,
No more spells.
These guys, like, we can just land past. I'm like, I'm cool with that.
please.
But stuff like that, or like I took Kinnan last week to locals, and like I had not goldfished the deck. I had not played it, but I'm like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know how this deck works, but like I'm paying so close attention to trying to play it correctly that I do, because like if I get more comfortable in a deck, I think I get like a little bit more lax. But if I'm picking up something new and I know it's powerful, I'm trying to A, impress Jason, B, but like not mess up and like prove to myself that like I can just pick up something raw and play it. And Yeah, I'm not going to do that for like fishbowl or whatever. But for me, a tournament could be as small as like locals, 25 people, all the way up to 300 people. But when I'm playing something new and fresh, or something that I'm like really confident about, I'm trying to play it in such a technical manner that like everything else just becomes whatever. And like to me, that's where I perform best.
One other thing before we move on to the next question that Logan mentioned on like how do you adjust for the meta, and it's like one of the reasons I think cEDH is so good at self-adjusting is because it's a social format. Like you have the felt experience of what each game feels like, and we know when a game feels bad.
Yeah.
And like when the meta feels bad, and we kind of all just self-correct towards that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because like we talked to like Max P was pretty adamant about this on his like podcast of being like the answer to the turbo meta is people having to respect it again, right? Is like just play a little bit responsibly and it goes away, right? Like we've had a few questions of like, how do you get past turn 2? It's like hold a counter spell in your hand, right? Like obviously we were like conditioned in one way for so long of like mulligan for Ristic Study, mulligan for Fish, mulligan for this, and the turbo decks were like preying on that, and that's like they adjusted. And now people are adjusting back, right? And like I think it's a beautiful thing about this format because other formats don't get that.
No.
Like they can silver bullet decks, right? Like we did just watch like Is It Lessons, do the thing, which by the way they're playing Ancestral Recall in Standard right now, which is insane.
We should have led with that picture of Grand with the Glock.
Yeah. But I think like, and they have small shifts of like, oh, hey, like you can silver bullet the best deck and have a good matchup against that. But like matchups aren't necessarily a thing in cEDH, right? Like you do have decks that you're bad against, but like you can rely on your two opponents to like help you in those situations and get yourself out. But that is just such a perfect thing is that our format is so self-correcting.
Yeah, and also like if you want to get past turn 2, like I'm sorry to everyone who expects me to be the resident non-blue player, but like go play a responsible deck. Like put blue back in your deck and you'll see more turn 2s. You'll be
fine.
will
also tell you, like playing a control deck with like 18 pieces of stack interaction feels so good right now. Yeah. Like you're just like, oh, I am unstoppable.
Yep. You know what? I was reading Zach's question earlier. Sorry, I just noticed that he was scrolling to that.
Yeah, you're good.
Really excited to get to that one. But I agree with you. Control feels really good right now.
It feels so good right now. Actually, we just played a few games on stream 2 weeks ago, and I just played like a hard control deck, and it was just like, there's no chance I'm losing this game. Like, it just was not possible.
No. Yeah, even at locals this weekend, Jason definitely wasn't playing like control farm, but he basically took out the red package and put in like Dranith and Talismans and like a couple more interactive elements. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're dead. Okay.
Yeah, we're dead. Surprise.
All right. Zach is Weird says, how do you have fun when you're not winning? I got into the format in my deck seriously about 7 months ago. I don't know what that means exactly.
Both the format and because he plays farm. Like he came into the format playing that deck.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. And have been in the absolute dirt. Yes, I recognize it's not that much time playing the format. Even though I'm playing the best deck in the format, I think I need to take a break from it to play other lists I enjoy. I don't want to abandon my main and stunt my growth as a player, but I also don't want to beat myself out of what is supposed to be an enjoyable hobby.
So the answer is I don't, unless I'm playing a fringe deck that is for fun, right? I don't have fun not winning a lot of the time. That's probably what we all have in common in critical EDH. But if you're talking about like how do you get out of your funk, I have said this for a long time about Tim Nadargo, that deck is going to the gym when you're talking about other decks.
Yeah.
It teaches you so much about the format and about specifically how to play farm, which is weird.
Yep.
And I think that like playing decks that emphasize different parts of the format that you can work on, that like forces you to work on these aspects of our format, then you can bring it back to farm, and you can bring it back to a deck that you're thoroughly enjoying, and take that with what you will, right? So I think that farm can basically do everything and anything, and that's why it's the best deck in the format. But playing a control deck, which is something that we've talked about, it teaches you how to play the control version of farm. Or if you are in that situation where you need to be the control player in the pod, then and you're comfortable in that spot. Or you need to play Tim Dargo and learn how to resolve a Adnaz or a Necropotence and figure that out, right? And obviously it's not one-to-one, but it teaches you a lot about window theory. It teaches you a lot about how to play certain aspects of the format in more direct ways that you can take those lessons that you've learned and take them to a deck that we all consider as the best, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's now that I'm playing farm, I think if you're not having fun anymore, you actually probably should go play some fringe slop fest for a while, because you just don't get upset. If you're still getting upset when you're losing on a fringe slop pile, that's we have other problems to discuss. But take a break, dude. It's fine. And my experience now coming back to farm, I completely agree with your sentiment on Tim Dargo. I think that's you're training in the hyperbolic chamber on that deck.
Legitimately, with zero gravity. Dude.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
Zero gravity, no. It's a lot of gravity.
Triple
Or
gravity.
sorry,
That deck is really
Triple
hard.
gravity.
It's extremely powerful and does some of the most broken stuff you can do. But it folds to most things.
Or you can take the other side of the coin and play Tivit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Tivit's
play
farm
this control
adjacent,
deck,
right?
Yeah, and play a control version of whatever. And truly, if you are in this funk of losing a lot, play a control deck and truly play a control deck.
Yep.
You'll stop losing. You might not win every game, but you will stop losing.
Yep.
I have, that's basically my advice.
No, I think that's the same way, right? It's like Tim Dargo unlocks how to go for breach on a completely different access, right? How do you win with breach with bad cards, borderline?
Yeah.
Right. And then
they're bad cards.
or if you go the other way, right? You go wrong side, right? Wrong side if you want to go more the controlling, or wrong side if you want to go more for pushing. But the aspects of farm of winning without white, right? And just I think taking other decks, playing other decks is not going to playing other decks is not going to stop you from improving. If anything, it will probably double the rate of your improvement. Yeah. You can take it back to farm.
You're playing
afterwards.
the pinnacle of cEDH right now. Farm is the best deck in the format. I don't think anyone really disputes that.
No.
And if you're not enjoying it, or you're not finding your wins, cut down an aspect of that deck.
Yep.
Cut it down to Tivit, or cut it down to Mardu, or cut it down to Rogsai, and cut down a color, because 4 colors is fucking hard. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
And there's a lot of decision paralysis, right? And
No one argues with that. It is hard. You have to tutor for the right mana at all the time. You have to play to the right window, and it's just
and you
so
can't
much.
if you stop playing farm, right? If you start playing Grixis and you're playing you're playing Kefka, right? And you have to learn how to push without a Grand Abolisher, you know? And you're this is what I have this crutch when I'm playing farm, and taking it away, taking those crutches away from you, taking blue away from you, teaches you such a new aspect of the game, so that when you go back to being able to play these things, you just appreciate it 1,000 times more.
Playing farm now, I have so much more respect, and I enjoy the deck now. I think it's fun because I understand it better.
You're understanding the individual aspects that make the deck whole.
Yep.
It has everything you want whenever you want it, right?
Yeah. But you have to know what you even want to be doing to look at the cards in your hands in farm and give a shit about them, because otherwise you're just oh, I know that this card is good, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
The other thing, for me, and I internalize a lot, and I worry a lot. And when I played farm before, I play a really good deck before, I expect myself to automatically just win everything. And so I think taking that pressure off yourself and removing yourself from a situation where you're wow, I'm playing farm, I'm supposed to be winning. It's a personal failure in me that I can't do that. I just fucking suck. That's not going to help you get better.
Yep.
You've got to walk away from that.
Also, a reality check, 25% is a good win rate.
Yeah.
Like it's not a great win rate, but it's an average good win rate.
The win rate.
It is the win rate.
25%
25%
of your games gets you to top cut sometimes.
Absolutely, right? And so
Which
that's
is like
just-
what.
Lower than that gets you to top cut in the invitational.
Yeah, truly. Truly.
Yeah.
Like there were a few people in
absolutely.
the invitational that made the invitational that had 23% win rates.
100%.
And like
That
That's
doesn't
why-
mean that doesn't mean they're bad.
no,
not
that
at all,
doesn't.
because
right?
there were only good players there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
And so it's just a little bit of a reality check too. If you're beating yourself and you have a 20% win rate kind of thing, right? You're not really doing that bad, right? There's a couple optimizations to make.
And also, like, don't compare yourself to the Jasons and Evans of the world. Like, if you're looking at top
There's
deck,
super geniuses playing this format, right?
Yeah.
There are people. There are people with photographic memories that read every single tell, right? And
Yeah.
you get everything in between.
Yep.
The other thing, are you expecting to win? Like, what are your expectations? And maybe set your expectations a little lower. Are you putting the work into the deck? Like, are you seeking out coaching? Are you trying to just even play your lines correctly or mulligan correctly? Are you practicing? Are you putting in the effort to compete at like a high level? Because if you're not doing those things and you're just like, I don't know Zach. I met him at Fishbowl, and really, really nice guy.
yeah.
Like, really awesome to hang out with. But I didn't get a chance to talk to him about, like, you know, what his day-to-day is like and stuff like that. So I've met him once, but, you know, I think these are questions you ask yourself when you're trying to be competitive in a competitive format, whether it's this or, you know, video games or jiu-jitsu or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, are you putting in the work? Are you doing what you need to do? Are you eating your vegetables? Are you getting good sleep beforehand? Are you practicing with the right people? Are you just trying to like play optimally?
I
Like,
also
sometimes
think-
I just get joy out of playing optimally, and if I don't win, like, okay, but I know that I played to all my outs.
Yep.
I also think that something that we kind of talked about a little bit last week is like setting goals for yourself on your deck to be like, okay, this is what the good players in this deck do.
Yep.
How do I like replicate that? Like, how do I need to set my goal of like, if I'm playing farm, I need to find a turn 2 Rhystic Study every game because that's what the best farm players do. Whether that's a Rhystic Study or a Necropotence or a Fish or like, okay, I need another goal of by turn 4, I need 30 cards in hand or something along those lines, right? Like setting goals that you see the best farm players do that you can replicate, I think is like such a huge way to advance your game plan.
Yeah, like thinking of jiu-jitsu as well, like because I think it translates. We make conscious decisions to do a lot of positional training, which is like for this month, the only thing I'm doing is this position,
Yep.
and you just live there. And by the end of that month, you're like way better at that one thing. So if you suck at breach or whatever,
Force yourself to breach.
Only go for wins with breach.
Yeah.
I
right?
will do nothing but breach. Like
In
all-
practice, you can remove Thassa's Oracle from your deck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, Jace did it in the Invitational.
Yeah. I mean, I'm forcing myself to play Kinnan right now.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I did not enjoy the idea of doing that.
Logan doesn't like green.
No, I make it known. Like, no, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what? I love green as a color in Magic. I don't like it cEDH.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. But I told myself, I'm like, I'm going to push myself to do something I don't enjoy because I think it will make me better as a player. And guess what? I enjoy winning. And like now I'm winning more because I'm more experienced. And so like sometimes you have to eat those frogs of things that you don't want to do in order to make yourself better. And it takes time.
Yeah, I mean, I was very vocal for a long time of like not wanting to play farm, and then I wasn't on the show after this happened, so I didn't get to talk about it. But I was in a top 4 pod on John Dargo with Logan, Jason, and Rogsai or Isaac, and I just sat there like I'm literally powerless in this game. Like I am dead to rights the second I sit down, and I fucking hated that feeling.
Yeah.
Like I could not do it
Jason
anymore.
held 65% of the power. I held about 30% of the power.
Yep.
And between you and the Rogsai, you guys had about a shared 5%.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, I can try to stop this
good.
man,
Yep.
but like I can't do it without you guys. You guys are just shaking your heads, and I'm like, okay.
I can't do it without you guys. As Jendargo's like, I have literally nothing to help you.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Not one card.
And it was in that moment where I kind of I said I wanted to make a top 4 on a Dargo deck. I finally got to do that. And then as I'm like living that experience, I'm like, proving a point right now is stupid because I know I'm a good player in this environment and I can't participate in this environment.
Yep.
I need to not prevent myself from doing that anymore. Farm is the best route I have to get out of that position.
Yeah, and if you're not having fun banging your head against the wall on farm, right, I think changing deck makes sense.
Yep.
And then the other piece, which I assume you're doing anyways, but also just like introduce yourself to everyone in the pod if it's new people you're playing with. It's a social format, right? And so taking the time, I think, to get to know the players you're playing with, especially like not in a tournament scene, but just for fun, I think is really important. And then also I think asking for feedback is a good way to start to build connection outside of just that game. Right, is if you want some feedback from some of those players. I think I'm such a connection focused person, so I have the most fun like when I'm connecting with other people. So that could be another one too. If you feel like you aren't connecting with your pods, could be another reason you're not having as much fun. And so just like really as a pregame action, like really introducing yourself and having just a tiny bit of small talk to facilitate more friendships. I think also can be a lot more fun.
We were talking about this before the episode started too. I think it was you, Jax, that was saying like, once you get past a certain number of games and tournaments, like deck performance is actually like pretty equitable.
Oh yeah.
As long as you're on like a Rogthras, Kinnan, Rogsai, like one of the top 5 to 10, and so like I don't know. We're kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but like you don't have to limit yourself to something you perceive to be the best if it's not the best for you. Like it's also a completely fine conclusion to come to.
Yeah, I mean, look at like a player like Pigeon.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Like Pigeon actively plays Rogthras, which we kind of disrespect here a lot of the time.
Yep.
And
but,
Rattle now too, right?
And he's been playing Kinnan, which is terrifying.
Oh, goodness.
It's actually terrifying.
He contributed to me wanting to play Kinnan.
Yeah. But like for a while, like that deck and specifically Rogthras, like it felt so scary when it was in Pigeon's hands.
Yeah, totally.
But then like you play against another player and you're like, it's not that bad. Like, but then you like play against Pigeon, you're like, why is this deck so insane?
No, Pigeon was the reason I picked up Rogthras.
Yeah, exactly. And so like there are decks that are for people like Kellen playing Tim Nadargo. The deck just fits him.
Yep. Well, and like there's also you could end up being a spooky too, where like you just brew the craziest shit, but it makes sense to you and you cook people with it.
The last thing I'm going to say about this is Zach has an incredible dedication to playing the format and learning the format. I have never spent 7 months playing a single deck. I don't think any of us have.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't spend more than 2.
I would say I
Like,
think I switch every month
right.
pretty consistently.
But like that is incredible, and I want to commend him for that.
Yeah,
because,
that's true.
He is following the advice we normally give of pick a top deck, play it, learn it. But if he's not finding his way, it's time to switch. Like you got to figure out something, because there's plenty of things to provide enjoyment in this format. And whether it's the people or the play patterns or just like sitting down and going like, I'm going to try to win, and it's up to you 3 idiots to stop me, right?
Yeah.
And maybe I'm an idiot too, but you know what? We're all going to be idiots together, and I'm going to try to win. So I think that like there's plenty of things to find enjoyment in the format, and like you just have to find what that looks like to you.
I also think, I mean, like we have talked a little bit about coaching this episode. Like if you are finding yourself hitting a wall like that, like don't be ashamed to go. There is so many good Blue Farm pilots on that website. Like,
Or get free coaching from Jason on our YouTube.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, also true,
Like
right?
also just like record your game, throw it in a Discord that you're a part of, and be like, "Yo, roast me," right? Like,
Please,
what,
yeah,
what
exactly.
did I do wrong?
There's
Right,
infinite
and
access to,
absolutely.
especially on that deck. There's infinite access
Totally. And
to
everyone has
people
their
that
opinions.
will, yeah,
Yeah.
like
All right.
yeah, exactly.
I think we beat this dead horse
Yeah.
enough.
Good luck, Zach.
This dead horse might be alive now. I was on That's a Good Card
Yep.
this week, and I talked about Get Taxi and Probe. What do you guys think about this?
I did not listen to the whole episode because.
Rude.
Well, okay, I listened to a lot of the episode, and it was like listening to our conversation that happened a day before you were actually recording it, and so like obviously, I think that most of us are believers of this card in this room here. I do agree with like some of their points being like, it feels like the 102nd card, right? But it should be the 99th. And it is so good at everything that you want, like as a card that like is uncounterable because no one's countering a Get Probe. It is so good at triggering Lotho and doing and converting Necropiles, which is like insane that that's like the case, but it's such a good tool to have in so many decks right now.
I think one of the biggest takeaways I have, honestly from That's a Good Card in general, but this conversation is like, if, especially in a deck like Farm, if you're looking at the list and seeing a card that doesn't make sense to you, there's something about the card that's not clicking yet.
Yeah.
Because I view Get Probe personally as uncuttable, but I don't know if that's like what combination of reasons that is. So I think just like evaluating cards holistically is something that's a good card does like better than any other like media group in the space that we have. So that was a great conversation.
No, I think you guys should go listen to the episode. It goes into very thorough detail of why this card is incredible. And in reality, I do think it's uncuttable in a lot of decks. Specifically decks if you're playing top deck tutors, and like most decks are. But like if you're playing a lot of them, including Imperial Seal, because like we all know the power of Imperial Seal on turn 1, right? But like what we don't know, or what a lot of people don't appreciate, is the power of Imperial Seal on turn 4, and then Get Probing the card.
Yep.
Right? And then like, but also seeing if your window is open with said card that you just grabbed, right? Like the fact that I mean, just a personal story with like this week we played a for fun game.
Yeah.
And like someone had wheeled us, or I don't remember exactly what led up to it, but I had a flood caller out and it was about to go into Jordan's turn, and like there was a Bowmasters out that was like pinging my own stuff, and I Get Probe Jordan, and I was like, Jordan has Breach in hand, I am no longer the problem.
Yeah.
And like just villainified Jordan, and then he pushed and I just won on top of him because other people had to interact, right?
Yep.
Like I think being able to do that socially, it is so good.
Oh yeah, and like the thing, I don't remember if you guys actually talked about this or not, but the reason I actually view this card as uncounterable is because if you do it, you are immediately the problem.
Yeah.
Because if you care so much about someone not seeing your hand, you're winning the game.
That means your hand's terrifying.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
You cannot counter this card.
Yeah. So go listen to the episode.
My favorite aspect of this card is saying, I have this Get Probe. I really want to target this person, but like maybe I should target this person and just start a conversation about Get Probe. Even if it's like turn 1, turn 2, it doesn't matter. Like just having, like, oh, I'm going to cast a spell because, like you said, it's uncounterable. It's not going to get countered. But just like the little bit of,
so much free information, right?
People
like,
start
don't look at me, don't look at me, look at him. Right?
Yeah, like,
it's like,
okay,
okay,
and you're like, okay, so I am going to target you. And like, give me a reason not to target you, and they show you your hand, their hand, and you're like, oh, okay.
Free hands for the price of one.
Sometimes,
it's crazy.
sometimes, truly, sometimes. But yeah, I also think that some of the positives that you guys talked about in the episode of being able to like look at a scary person's hand and being able to reveal that information to your other opponents, not physically reveal it, but say what's in the hand, right? And being like, hey guys, like, you have to keep up interaction. You have to, or we're losing, right? Like, I think that is a huge thing that people don't utilize as much as they should when it comes to Get Probe.
There's a lot of really cool free cards. I think Surgical Extraction's another one.
I'm looking at it,
It's interesting.
especially in Marchesa.
I know. Well, I was thinking, like, I don't have Get Probe in Marchesa, I don't think.
I think it's in there.
Okay.
At least it's in
No,
my list.
I was panicking there for a second. I was like, why is that not in there?
I'm like
I was
90% sure
okay,
it's in there.
I gotta go check now.
But
I mean, Skimming Symmetry's in there, so I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
just having the ability to like force the interaction or look, or you know what? It's another card you like don't care about as well. You can pitch it.
I was
you
gonna say
can-
pitching
blue,
it,
right?
dude.
Yeah.
Pitching
The
it,
fact that it's
so
blue
you're
is
like,
such
yep.
a big deal.
Yeah, pitching it to like a late game, like, oh hey, I have Commandeer. Sounds great. Get Probe's gone, buddy.
Don't care.
Like-
Yeah. Yeah. So this was really fun, and we love the guys from That's a Good Card, both Ya and Kyle. They're both really, really good players, and at this point, they're staples in the scene. Like people know who they are and love listening to their podcast, and being a part of that was really, really awesome.
Speaking of Ya and Kyle, I think they're going to Birdcage.
Oh, Birdcage 5?
Birdcage, whatever the next one is.
Yeah. I think it's 5.
I think they're planning on going to Birdcage this year, which I think is cool.
I'll check them out there, and then check out this episode of That's a Good Card.
So we were looking at some new Marvel cards.
Mr. Fantastic.
This is Mr. Fantastic.
It says draw cards, so it has to be good, right?
It's
4 colors, which is interesting.
2 in a blue, Vigilance, Reach.
It's cheap for 4 colors too, because I don't think we have a 4-color commander that costs 3. I could be wrong.
We have 5-color commanders
We have
that are
5,
cheaper,
yeah.
but I don't know specifically in this color pairing. Like realistically in this color pairing, and we'll talk about the card in a second and tell what the card is. But it's Sans Black, which we just don't have a lot of 4-color commanders.
Yeah,
Realistically.
Yeah, not at all. I'd be like
There's
aren't partners kind of thing.
We have like the Yidris, like
okay.
that, like
Saskia, Yidris.
yeah.
and
There's a group of 5 of them that are, and like Atraxa.
Okay. Oh, Atraxa.
Like
yeah.
OG Atraxa.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's Mr. Fantastic. It's 2 blue or 2 colorless and a blue. It has Vigilance and Reach, and then at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, draw a card. And then for Sans Black, so red, green, white, blue, and a tap, copy target triggered ability you control twice.
So you can draw 3 cards for 4 mana.
You could,
yeah.
or
Triple
like
Ranger Captain.
copying an ability, a triggered ability 3 times in general could just be broken, right?
For sure.
Ranger Captain is an activated ability.
Oh,
Correct.
It has to be triggered.
The
Got it.
triggered
be
ability
triggered.
of Ranger Captain is the ETB on search.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So like Derevi, right, where you get a bunch of untaps.
You'll get
possibly.
possibly untaps.
Okay.
Um,
Is there a triggered ability that untaps a creature?
there would be like Deceiver Exarch style things.
Okay.
Intruder
Ooh,
alarms.
Okay.
Yeah, Pestermite.
Okay.
So like I wanted to talk about this card first of all because it's 4 colors.
yeah.
Second of all, it says draw a card, right? And it's not that hard to trigger to draw a card, right? It's just like
Yeah.
play a rock, draw a card.
Yeah.
And like that's fine. Some people play commanders just for colors, right?
Sure.
And so like being able to do that on a 3 mana
it's a serious
body,
blocker too, right?
It's a serious-
Vigilance and Reach
Yep.
is kind of a big deal on a 2/4 body.
serious blocker. It's also like not like you are accessible to Flare of Denial.
Oh, sure. And
Like-
your Mox is on the good color. Your
Mox,
Amber.
Mox Amber's on
Yeah,
a good
feels
color.
good. Okay.
So like I don't necessarily know if this card will see a ton of CDH play.
Sure, but
It's
it could.
also 7 months away before we see this card, I think.
Sure. So there's a lot of cool triggered abilities coming
Yeah.
beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I do think that we should be like cognizant of like there are some very powerful words that are on this card.
Interesting.
And I would
bring
not be
Dockside
surprised.
Yo, no.
I was gonna say, there's-
triple dockside.
There's a lot of ETBs in those colors that you would
that
want
would
to
be-
double
that
or
would really
triple.
be-
I mean, there's like maybe like a semi-blue variant of this deck that you like, double or like copy a Tali ETB 3 times.
Oh shit. Okay.
Or to
Or
get
you
the
clone
3
someone else's
ETBs.
Atali kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly.
Interesting.
So like there's
Maelstrom
just
Wanderer's Cascade is a triggered ability.
Cascade's a triggered ability. Like there's a lot of like very interesting things to do with this card. And like I said, very powerful words, right?
sure.
So maybe if it's not even that good when it first comes out, 2,
At some
3,
point, yeah,
4 years
yeah.
down the line, they're always like printing more triggered abilities on new cards, right? Like the power creep of creatures and ETBs on creatures is
Taro 3
always
times.
going up.
Yeah.
And so something like this might get better later.
Okay.
Tataru doesn't work. It's triggered once per turn.
Triggered once per turn.
So even if you copy it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The 4 pip scares me a little bit, but yeah, but
For sure.
copying it twice does seem incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
If the card read color identity as is with no tap and no ability, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's
Being
okay.
Sans Black is like I think the worst
four
color
color pile.
combination, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
because we have like what 4-color Omnath. And
Yeah, and that doesn't really
Yeah.
see any play.
it did before many moons ago.
Okay, sure.
4-color Omnath is fine as like a land strategy, but like it's very slow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like I said, just like being able to be a 4-color pile that says draw a card on it. I think it's like good
Cabbage
enough.
Merchant almost it pays for half of it. Yeah, you get what?
Possibly.
Yeah, you get 3 foods. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. I think it's like closer to like Peregrine Drake.
Okay.
Like Peregrine Drake, Cloud of Fairy stuff.
Okay,
That's where I'm like, oh,
gotcha.
that's
Yeah,
kind of nutty.
Yeah.
on it.
Okay, I forgot about Peregrine Drake.
That's actually kind of gross.
Wow,
Yeah,
actually, Cloud
that's
of
what I'm
Fairy's
saying,
copy
like-
that is actually probably good
Like a
enough.
semi-blue variant.
Great whale,
Is
bro.
like kind of sick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I've been like looking
Okay.
at Helga, and Helga actually just it got second in the God of Commander tournament in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a full semi-blue deck, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this deck, the card
well, and
is kind of just better than Helga sometimes, right?
totally. Well, and then like the nice part about Helga being semi-blue is you can play interaction in Helga compared to like
Yeah,
other semi-blue
because
stuff,
you're not
which-
trying to
yeah.
cascade things.
Totally,
Right, and you get
totally.
breach.
Yeah. And you do get breach. Okay. Okay.
But you also like this is like the semi-blue variant. You also get the Bant version and the Teamer version and the same deck, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
You can
yeah.
select elements of both.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so
okay.
like again, I don't know if
Sure,
it's
sure,
the
sure,
thing,
sure.
right? But
No,
like
I'm starting to get sold
it
on
might
that.
be able to do something.
Atali's a trigger.
That's what I was saying.
No,
like you get triple
Atali's
Atali
gas.
triggers.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You would definitely win the game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you would assume so.
If you don't win with triple Atali, like you're in a really bad spot.
Or even like weirdly enough, like triple Radagast the Brown triggers is like kind of nutty.
What is that?
Yeah, whenever you play
in hand though.
yeah, but you get like that's digging like 30 cards in that deck and finding the best 3 of them. Like, all right.
Triple Thunder Traps?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's a lot of like interesting things that you can do with this ability.
It will see play.
Yeah, I agree.
This will see play. Yeah.
Totally.
It's also Mr. Fantastic, which is kind of sick.
It's kind of sick. Yeah. The art on it's awesome too.
Yeah.
Wait, are they gonna have a why can't I remember the guy's name from The Office?
Oh,
Dwight?
No, Jim.
Oh, Jim. Oh,
Because he was Jim as
Oh yeah.
in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Wait, or is it gonna be Pedro Pascal, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
We have 2 of those now.
Bruce Banner, 1 blue,
One blue is huge.
3 color teamer.
One blue
XX.
does seem good.
Tap, draw X cards. Activate only as a sorcery.
Man, I wish that last sentence wasn't there.
Wow.
That activate
still-
only as a sorcery feels so
It's still
bad.
fine.
It's still a pretty good rate, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's an infinite mana outlet
Yeah.
if needed.
this is going to see play.
The 1 mana blue that draws cards seems pretty darn good.
In the backside,
One
it
mana
has
turn
like
on SWAT, turn on Fierce is turn on Flare is
turn on,
really
yeah,
good.
Amber,
This is like
right.
better than Tameo.
Yeah.
Because
Wait,
Tameo
it has one more color too. You have Breach too in this.
Yes, Tameo is 2 color.
Yeah.
And you have a 1-card combo on the back.
Yeah,
with
but Tameo does
Caltrops.
weird things.
All right, let's read the rest of the card.
Sure.
2 red, green, transform him. Activate only as a sorcery. He's a 1/1, which is the massive downside.
It is, yeah.
Okay, dies to Bowmaster.
On the backside, he's Incredible Hulk, which is you can just cast him on the back.
Yep,
the back
it's
Yeah.
the same as like Green Goblin.
Yeah, which is I like that new templating for the transform.
I do. I agree. I think that it is good.
So you can cast him for the same cost: 2 red, green, reach, trample, 8/8. Whenever he's dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on him. If he's attacking, untap, and then there's a additional combat phase after this phase. So it does go infinite with a card called Caltrops.
There's a few other cards in
There's
there
a few
too.
other. There's like a 4 mana Dino that does 1 damage when it attacks.
Oh,
There's a
Wrathful
couple.
Raptors or whatever.
They get increasingly worse after Caltrops.
Sure.
yeah.
Caltrops is
but
what,
there's
three-
other options.
3 mana.
3
like,
generic.
Yeah.
3 generic.
3
yeah.
generic does 1 damage to any creature when it attacks, right?
Yep.
But you're like in good colors.
Yeah.
You get
You're in okay colors.
yeah, you're like I mean like red, green, blue. Like it's a good color combination. You're not missing like you get to interact with the table to be able to get into your Hulk combo.
Let's be real though. If this were black instead of green,
Oh.
Oh, it'd be
you
insane.
just tutor for Caltrops and you're like, okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
You have black-red rituals to cast.
If it was
You have
Grixis-
Trophy Mage though to find this, and you have green to find Trophy Mage pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So like I don't
It-
think that.
it
I
is
don't,
mana though.
Yeah.
It dies to removal spell. Right.
I just don't know
Yeah.
if that's your plan, like you're probably just not playing the Bruce Banner part of the card. You can just like wait until Hulk.
I think
You can, but he doesn't have haste.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
realistically, I feel like it's an infinite mana sink on the front side if you're going to go that route. Like that's what you're building it
Yeah.
around, or just like non-deterministic.
Those two things are opposed, though. In the infinite mana sink and the backside.
Right.
you
I'm
have to
saying I
build
think you're
two
going one way or
separate-
the other.
Because you
Exactly,
can't transform him back at any point either.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You can only go from front to back. You can't go back to front.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this deck will see play. Obviously, I mean, like there's Marvel fans out there, right? So
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
but
But
I
a
think we'll
one
see it.
mana blue teamer commander seems pretty
is good. Yeah, I
pretty darn
agree.
good, right? Like and it draws cards, right? Like that's one of the checks, draw cards, and teamer makes a lot
Hold
of
up.
mana.
Is there a possibility where you run things like Gut Shot and Ballista just to like ping him once and like maybe a couple of attacks are like just enough?
Oh wow!
Maybe.
Because like
if he gets in,
sure,
if he
it's
gets
just
in 3
lethal.
times, you kill a player, right?
yeah, you just
Yeah.
like kill a player because he has trample and he gets
Well-
bigger every time.
And sometimes 2 times gets in to kill a player if he because is it a +1/+1 counter? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he grows permanent.
And then you
first player's 3, second player's 2.
Final Fortune for an extra turn.
Yeah.
Like maybe Caltrops is like the wrong way to look at it because yes, it's an infinite combo, but maybe these smaller cards are just like enough.
You know what card would be gas
Wow.
in this
Actually,
deck?
yeah. Ballista would be insane.
Pyrohemia.
What is that?
Pyro. would
Have
be
you ever
sick.
heard of
I've heard of it. What is the actual text?
It's
of the card?
1
2
red.
red, 2 colorless, and it's an enchantment that says pay 1 red mana, deal 1 damage to each creature. If
think-
there's no creatures on the battlefield, then bury Pyrohemia.
Interesting, but
yeah.
you like need mana generation.
Right. Like, but just doing it like 4 times, it clears the way for you. And then Hulk just kills 2 people if you have 4 red mana.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's something.
There's also cards that are forcing opponents to block. Might be worthwhile in this deck.
Yeah, like a lure.
Like target creature must be blocked
Yeah.
because then he takes damage while he's attacking.
Yeah.
Wow. And kill something too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think there's something here.
Six mana is a bit steep.
It's a
to
lot,
flip
for
it, right?
sure.
For a 6 mana non-hasty beater.
But you are playing blue that like can get you there, right?
Sure,
Like
sure,
you
sure.
have enough agency to like, if that is your game plan, is to like Hulk someone,
Yeah.
Yep.
not Protean Hulk, Incredible Hulk someone.
Hulk someone incredibly.
I mean, you're also just in colors that shit mana out.
That's
Yeah,
true.
for
Yeah,
sure.
like
You'll be fine.
and realistically, the only like hard color is the 2 red pips. Like
Yeah.
you just have Cradle for the other parts.
It's not hard because you have Desperate Ritual.
Yeah.
And you have
Sure, Rite of Flame.
Rite of
right?
Flame.
And J Will, J
Will's
J
really
Will
good.
because
This
he's
is a
a
good J-Will deck.
Wow.
It is a very good J Will deck.
Because
Yep.
you can funnel the J Will mana just into draw cards is good enough, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is
okay.
a very good J Will deck.
It's a really interesting deck. Like,
Yeah.
This is the type of thing that I want them to produce, where they
I
there's
wish
like
no sorcery though. No, that's not-
you're
Dude, I wish that
attacking
first
that
line
would be
didn't
so
say
good.
sorcery, and it was
You're
just a
attacking
Sphinx's Wrath, dude.
format at an interesting angle.
Yep.
And you're expanding
Yeah.
what like things can be done. And this is also just like a straight up good casual card.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
fun and casual.
I mean, I think it's interesting that they're like, as they're simultaneously not really acknowledging us as a format, they are printing cards that are like 100% meant to see cEDH play.
Oh, 1,000%.
Like-
We're-
I don't know if I would put this in that category.
Oh, by
I think
the
this deck
way-
is like very much a casual card.
Oh, it's, yeah, I think
Like,
so.
Yeah, like
So that's interesting. Do you think they're pushing the casual envelope closer and closer to cEDH?
I think they're just trying. Okay, I mean, like I've had a few conversations that I think that they are going to try to raise the casual cap and lower the cEDH cap.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
unfortunately probably through bans.
I think
I really think
It-
that's a ridiculous.
I had-
if they
I had
start
a-
doing that, I'm gonna be very like.
I had a really-
like disappointed and angry kind of thing, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like yeah.
I had a really interesting conversation with someone recently, and they were saying the fact that they can't make money on the reserve list, like Wizards can't. They would not be surprised if they end up banning the reserve list for our format,
Interesting.
because they just can't make money off of it
But
at
it
all.
devalues a bunch of the cards, and so much of Magic's built up on the marketplace of the.
Oh, I agree.
Right, and it's like
But
it's like
also the trust
devaluing
of
the
the
stocks.
players.
100%.
Yeah.
Right, like if you devalue the stock of people that like, if they ban Cradle after someone just bought a Cradle,
bro,
thing, right, like that's gonna
We watched what happened with Mana Crypt and JLo, and that's like a tenth of as bad as it would be.
Well, and we watched
Yeah.
a bunch of people leave and not come back to
Yeah.
Magic, right? Just go
Yeah.
to Flesh and Blood or go to other TCGs and stay away.
So here's the other like part of that equation is that if they do such a drastic attack, which it would be an attack, right?
Yeah.
It would be so much easier for them to like do actual Wizard supporting for the format. Like
Sure.
like
Move
Wizard
away from
sponsored
the proxy.
tournament would not be like they wouldn't like we wouldn't need to proxy as much. They would be able to like actually provide for the format and do some
But
pretty wild prizing.
But has Wizards been putting a lot of effort into the tournament scene though? Like for
Yeah, I mean they
Sacred?
just brought back the Pro Tour not that long
Okay,
ago,
okay.
and
Sure,
Worlds
sure.
just happened over the weekend.
I mean, I think they're
like
gonna
and
have to.
it is a giant piece of the pie that like right now like it's getting it's
small
getting
piece of the pie.
so it is it's a small piece of the pie, but like it's a piece of the pie that Wizards wants for sure, right?
They can't control it, and they don't like that.
That's also a big part of it, right? So like, I'm not saying like advocating, and this is like kind of pivoted off of a lot of it, right?
Sure.
But like, I would not be surprised if like that is a thing that happens eventually.
Well, we've already seen
Either that or they're going to make Magic 30 stuff and Gold Border stuff legal in our format.
Oh, okay.
We've
Or
already seen what
tournaments.
they're doing with Universes Beyond, right? Because like they're willing to make money by whatever means necessary, devaluing their own IP, making lots of players unhappy with this, and also like it doesn't matter, they're bringing in new players, right? Like that's their logic with this, and like that's the reason we're talking about these cards.
I just hope we can get out of this 5-year mindset of the business side of them just trying to make the most profit in 5 years, and we can look at like Magic's been a huge a huge card game for a very long time.
It hasn't been that big for very long.
That's also fair.
Like-
Yeah,
like
I guess it
COVID
was like
really-
super underground. Yeah.
COVID
There's
really
been
re-sparked
3
it.
booms in Magic.
Okay.
Sure,
Yeah, and COVID was the last one.
Okay,
Yep.
that makes a lot of sense.
but they're trying to ride that out because
Yeah.
like if they don't, then it peters out again, and they have to find the next thing. that
Well,
brings it back.
and
So-
this is the only thing making money for Hasbro right
The
now.
other thing is if there was like an option for them to make money off of the reserve list somehow, right? Which if they allowed in our format gold bordered cards and then printed championship decks like they used to,
Interesting.
which would be
Okay.
really interesting, right? Like again, it would be weird because it's like a reserved list card that is now legal in a tournament, which is very weird. But I would not be surprised if that's like an option that they go for.
I kind of like,
but
that
it's
'cause it
like
keeps the value of
it's
the
kind
cards.
of weird though to be like, oh, hey, we're gonna print championship decks for a format that we haven't really recognized yet.
Sure,
But like, here's Blue Farm that has won the Invitational last year or something like that.
Sure.
And
if you
like,
want an alternative to
It's
this
interesting.
that already exists, go to Manifold Proxies and buy it.
You can make them gold border. You know?
yeah,
True.
But like, I think that is a way for Wizards to get a piece of the pie without touching the format that much, right?
Okay.
Let's not give them any ideas.
I think it'd be a good idea.
I don't want Wizards' involvement. I think what makes our format special is the lack of involvement by the parent company.
I agree with that.
fair.
I do think that gives us a lot of like pizzazz, and like it is what makes us right now. But I do think that like Wizards backed tournaments just opens up the format.
In a
Like
100K CDH
it like
event
it
sponsored by
opens up a
Wizards
lot of ideas, right?
would be
It
pretty
opens
cool.
up like cEDH Pro Tour, like it
It's
opens
kind of
up
already happening, dude.
sponsorships.
I was in
Yeah.
it last year.
I mean, I
that's
hear
also
you.
fair.
I hear you, but like
Yeah.
that's like their infinite money glitch that they're going to Chase Bank and depositing their own check and then taking it out. Like that's not something that we can provide, right? Not yet, at least, and it would like speed up that process.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm curious. I like this idea of the championship.
I'm not totally.
It's
closed-
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not totally closed off to the idea, but I think part of what makes it special is that like mom and dad disapprove.
For sure.
Yeah, we're the redheaded
But the
stepchild.
rebel- Yeah, absolutely.
It's the Wild West, baby. Like
It is the Wild West.
and that's cool. And if it
And
stops being cool, then it stops being fun.
Wasn't Top Deck like primarily developed for cEDH?
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is
And we've also created some new rules around multiplayer that hasn't like
and
is a little bit of addendums on top of like the Magic rulings.
And look at like all the
which
things
I think
that
is interesting too.
like I don't want mom and dad involved because look at like Riftbound now is also entirely through Top Deck. Like all of this stuff that gets built out of this community crowdsourcing, and it's like early tech. It's like Facebook before it sucked ass.
That's
like
also fair, dude.
All of these people just building things together.
It's true.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
true.
and then if they take over, right, these people stop building too, right?
Yeah.
Because people are like, okay, you handled it, and we're not making any money off this, or there's no
Yeah.
ability for us to add to this, right? It's on you. Good luck,
Yep.
right? I think, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry, that was like a pivot.
that was a little bit.
that was a critical EDH special right there.
Yeah.
This card is really interesting. I think that there's going to be a lot of unique builds for it, but ultimately it's going to be another one of those like C- commanders where it is
Like
technically
you'll lose to
viable.
this once.
But like how many tables do you think are going to get flipped when like it gets targeted with the Bowmaster after you spend the 6 to try to flip it? Right, like I feel like that
In casual, like
yeah,
1,000.
I would say left and
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like tapped out, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's like that.
I was
That's
like,
that's
wait.
like I want to rage bait someone for that. Like I'm gonna be holding.
I feel
Bowmaster
like these,
all
like,
game.
transformations-
Someone do that, just be like,
I feel like these transformations, because like stuff like that is a feels bad. Like these transformations should be a special action.
oh, 100%.
Like,
But do you know how
like,
good
it feels like
to
it's a
be the
morph,
Bowmaster
dude.
player? Dude?
Yeah,
you know
of
how
course.
like I'm gonna remember that one forever.
Yeah,
Do that.
but like
Just
we
switch
have
to
morph that
plowshares.
uses special
right.
actions. Like, why isn't this that?
Imagine getting gut shot like
Bro,
on
yeah.
the front
you
side.
get,
You're
you
just
get,
like,
you get
oh,
gut
come
shot.
on, bro.
Everyone's tapped out, and you're like, I got him.
I would
Right?
turn
Gut
into
shot,
Incredible
bro.
Hulk, dude.
I agree
funny.
though. I think it's gonna be like. I mean, we were talking about Green Goblin, and it's fine.
Yeah, well,
It's gonna be
But like it hasn't put up any
no,
serious results, like consistently at least.
no. It's gonna
Yeah.
be C-, C+, depending on who's piloting
think-
it.
I think
if
Green
someone
Goblin's
here,
good.
Yeah, I
I would
agree.
say, I think if someone here picked up Green Goblin and we cut all the bad cards, I think we could probably do okay. with
Sure,
it really
but-
quickly.
Yeah.
But like I don't
what
think
is
it's
it
better than
adding?
Rockside. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, what
It's
is
just
it?
not better.
it's
than
not better than
Rockside.
Rockside, right? That's the hard part.
The bar is so high.
It is better than
Bars.
Kafka.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I
Based
love
opinion.
you have 2 cards in hand, right? And one of them's Adnaz, and you just like crack your LED to cast the Adnaz for 3. Seems pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
like
it's
that,
pretty
right?
good.
But,
Like,
like,
you don't need to run other cards to make that.
No, I don't.
No,
you're
I
right.
think the
And, like,
Grixis
maybe
pile's
artist
enough.
talents, right? Like maybe like 1
Yeah.
or 2.
Like a
small-
faithful City
Yeah,
every
like,
once in a
there's,
while.
like,
I think
one-
Frantic Search
yeah.
deserves to be in the deck, but
cards you'd almost run in Rockside,
Yeah.
and that gives it just a little edge. I think makes sense.
Yeah.
But you don't be running like a
maybe
5 to 7 cards.
maybe a little Psychic Frog, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
come on, dude.
Maybe.
You know what's cool though is like
Or Ghostly Pilsner, dude.
Ghostly
Ghostly
Pilsner,
Pilsner, I
and
think
that deck
seems
is actually
before.
really good.
I do think that seems
Actually, the one card that I think really needs to be played in that deck is like Curiosity.
Sure.
And
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and like Guild Artisan is a deck card I was playing in the deck when I played it.
Is it on damage or is it on attack?
Curiosity
Curiosity, yeah.
in
In Norman Osborn.
what does he do that does damage to people?
It's an unblockable attacker.
Unblockable.
Yeah. So you just get to draw an
so
extra
just
card and
as
you
the
can
action-
eye.
Yeah, you draw
okay.
Yeah.
draw discard.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
and like it's not a lot, but it's a like he's already a low cost, and then he's
wow, yeah, it's a 1 mana.
Is it
draw one more
is it
time.
One
on
mana draw
attack
two,
or is it on
It's
damage?
on damage, but he's unblockable.
Yep.
so he connives on
Is-
damage.
Is Kedis worth it in the 99?
No, because I don't think so. But like
Draw 3, discard 3 is not bad, dude.
it's kind of nuts.
It's kind of nuts.
But like Guild Artisan's really good.
Yeah,
Guild
Guild Artisan.
Artisan.
Guild,
Like,
I'll be
refines
honest.
itself when
Guild
you play
Artisan's a card that should just be played more.
They-
The card's really good.
There's
cares
also,
about
isn't there
commander
like a
damage,
2 mana creature that works like
It
Guild
triggers
Artisan?
on attack.
Yeah, but it cares about commanders attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in a ROG deck, like I think that Guild Artisan's really good in ROG.
And then Rogue dies, and you're like, all right.
Or Guild Artisan's also really good. Yeah, it's a good in this deck too.
I think isn't there like a 2 mana creature that has the Guild Artisan effect as well that puts it on? I don't know if it's on
Unsure.
itself. I don't know. I'll get back to
Curse
you
of
on that.
Opulence.
Curse of Opulence, definitely.
I don't know. Anyway,
I have Curse of Opulence in a deck that I'm sleeving up for maybe this weekend.
Oh.
all right. So just to recap, we've got
oops.
we've still got the Royal Rumble coming up, and the Solstice coming up. This is also Solstice is 2 weeks from now, basically. And then if you want to get free entry to our league, check out this Hummingbird playmat, and you can get free entry for this month and next month. Otherwise, check out the episode on That's a Good Card with me. And yeah, that's about it. Anything else, guys?
Just go play in large tournaments.
Go Japan.
Yeah, if you're new to the format, don't be afraid to go play large tournaments. Don't let idiots on Twitter gatekeep you from doing that.
Also,
Yeah.
everyone's very nice, right? Like, don't be scared of large tournaments. I think the community, the gathering, is a big part of cEDH.
Yeah.
Like again, everyone is excited for new players in the format, or most people are excited for new players in the format. And I think
Most people with a brain are excited to have new players in the
I
format.
think I think there should be like
1,000%.
addendums to the statement of being like, don't play in large tournaments. It's like, go play in large tournaments. Don't expect to win large tournaments when you
Yeah,
first
for
start,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Go
but
have
like,
fun.
Go have fun. Go meet people, because like it's very rare to meet someone that I dislike.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just like, but that's basically it.
Oh, bro.
Uh,
Can't keep calling people out by name.
but yeah, I mean, like, it's basically like, yeah, just go out and have fun. Like, and large tournaments is where you do that. And then like playing in the LobbyCon, like,
Dude, the LobbyCon is the borderline the best
it's the
part.
best
right?
part,
Like, usually, yeah, right. Everything from pounding beers to the homies to just like staying up all night playing cards, right? Like there's
Someone in
nothing to complain
the
about.
Royal Rumble chat in our Discord was like, "Hey, this would be like my first tournament to travel for, but like I'm really nervous about interrupting people's LobbyCon." I'm like, brother, no.
that's
you're not-
what LobbyCon is.
I would say
Yeah.
you ain't interrupted, bro. You're adding
Yeah.
to it. You know, bring the
There's
vibes.
beers there.
Yeah,
Yep.
say,
But yeah, other than that, I think that's the only other thing that I had to say about this week happening.
yeah, no, I think it checks out.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.